friends. Welcome in.
Hi, if you're new and we've not met, how'd you get here? Did I just appear in front of you at random? Kooky. No, hey, I'm just a random old lady that likes to variety stream. So hey, what's up? Welcome in. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate being here. Play video games and watch YouTube. I am getting over that gross ass cold that everybody has been getting and going around. And that's what's up. So, we're gonna watch some BJ.
One more time because this is freaky. This is like very scary. Like I don't think that the government should be allowed to do this at all. No paper trail, and this is the paper trail, the back of a receipt paper. I mean, what in the crime family mafia, crime family hell is this? No.
Oh,
no, thank you. No, I'm calling Cash Patel on
I
this
didn't
one.
get
I'm
to
calling
do
him on
anything yet.
Security, no.
I thought I paused.
Steve Fisher. From Steve Fisher Investigates. Now, he posted yesterday, maybe it was earlier today, I don't know what time,
Okay.
a pretty ominous and, dare I say, sinister posted by Steve at Fisher Investigates, okay?
There's been updates to my game. So if
So
you're one of my
he
friends that
posted
plays this with
this
me, it's live right now. So
this morning.
jump in the
to,
room.
like midnight today. What's done in the dark
Okay.
will come to light, he says.
Vengeance?
Tomorrow morning, so that
Okay.
was today, this morning,
Something about good night?
I have been, quote, ordered to appear in LA County Criminal Court for an order to show cause hearing for contempt. I was not served with a summons to appear in court. I was not given a complaint outlining the alleged contempt
There's the button.
to respond to. I was not given a complaint outlining the alleged contempt to respond to. There is no case number, and I do not appear anywhere in the court's public docket. I was handed a handwritten note from a deputy district attorney on Friday and told to appear Tuesday morning.
Oh, where do
So
I
this
put
morning.
this?
He was supposed
On
to
the
come this
wall,
morning.
probably, huh? Derp.
A punishment hearing in criminal court that is not even assigned a case number, seemingly because they do not want this to be public information. Oh, well, cat's out the bag now. Oops. So just again, y'all, according to Steve Fisher, he said he was approached in court on Friday. Friday, he was approached in court, and he was handed a handwritten note. It wasn't a summons. It wasn't a complaint. There was no case number. He was just handed a note like it was 6th grade, and somebody was like, do you like me? Check yes, no. But that's not what the note said. We're going to get into what the note said. There is no case number, and I do not appear anywhere in the court's docket. He said a punishment hearing in criminal court that has not even been assigned a case number, seemingly because they don't want this information to be public. Love me or hate me, this should concern you. The fact that this is happening in our criminal court system is terrifying. That is why I am
Okay, nothing in there.
going public with this before the hearing tomorrow, which I will not be attending. I ain't going to that hearing. Send me real notice. Give me a summons with a case number, baby girl. I ain't going to no court hearing for contempt for my handwritten note. I don't blame it. He said I'm going public before the hearing tomorrow, which I will not be attending, so that the public and the press are aware of what is happening. Here's the backstory. Okay. Now, I'm going to just let the cat out the bag here and now, y'all. I think this was relating to the David case, and I think it's related to the David grand jury investigation. That's my opinion, and my opinion is based on this Twitter post. So let's read further, and you can let me know if you agree or disagree that this maybe is the David case. So he says, here's the backstory. Recently, I testified on 2 separate days as a witness before a grand jury. Okay, which one he don't tell us. When I was served with a subpoena for the first day of testimony, 2 detectives came to my door at 6 a.m. and instructed me to immediately call the deputy district attorney. She told me that because I was now a grand jury witness, I was no longer allowed to speak about this case. and that it would be illegal if I did. They show up at his door at 6 in the morning. And like immediately you need to call the DA. Like he's the criminal here or something. She told me that because I was now a grand jury witness, I was no longer allowed to speak about this case. This is alarming. I don't care if you like Steve Fisher or not. It's alarming. He said, this put me in an impossible position. I have a client directly related to this case.
Yeah.
If I cannot speak to my client, I am violating my professional duty. This was the entire point of calling me as a grand jury witness. Woo, that's an allegation. He said this put me in an impossible position because I have a client directly related to this case and I need to be able to talk to that client at the very least. This is putting me in a position not even be able to do my job. If I cannot speak to my client, I am violating my professional duty. This was their point, he says. This was the entire point of calling me as a grand jury witness. It was a strategy used to try to silence me, he said. Now, we talked about this before. Do y'all remember when we talked about this before? I was reading one of Steve Fisher's Twitter, tweets or whatever, and he was like, ominously, cryptically, like, I don't know what I'm allowed to say. I don't know what I'm allowed to talk about, et cetera, et cetera. Remember that? No, I don't do my hair with any Tymo curler. You know what I do it with? A pack of these. That's what I do. These, like, you can get them for like a $1 to $3 at the wherever. I think $6.99 on Amazon. I don't like using heat on my hair. I'm trying to grow it. Okay, anyway. Okay, so he said that they're trying to silence him. He said the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner has publicly spoken about, right, remember the medical examiner? Oh, right. So remember Steve Fisher was like, I don't know what I'm allowed to say. I don't know what I'm allowed to talk about. But then at the same time, TMZ and the LA PD was talking. And then at the same time, like a little bit after that, the medical examiner got silenced via court order. He's like, this is the same tactics they already been trying to use on the medical examiner. He said the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner has publicly spoken about a similar silencing strategy being attempted against their office. Then, Steve Fisher said, I did my research on the law. I spoke to lawyers and found out I was being lied to. He said, I spoke to lawyers and I found out I was being lied to. Here's the critical fact. In California, witnesses to a grand jury do not have a general obligation of secrecy. So y'all lied. He's basically saying y'all lied. That obligation of secrecy applies to the jurors and officers of the court. So there's grand jurors. He's like, that has done nothing to do with me. A witness is only bound to secrecy regarding anything they learn solely from the grand jury proceeding. So he's saying, that's not the law, they lying. They threatening me and they lying. They said I'm not allowed to talk about this case at all because I was a grand jury witness. No, shut up. That's not even freaking true. I'm not allowed to tell anybody what I learned from the grand jury proceedings. I'm not allowed to say anything that's like secret just from that. He's like, but I have inside knowledge from this case. He's like, I'm a witness. Obviously, I have some information that I had before I ever walked into this grand jury pool in this grand jury room. And so for that reason, they lying. They threatening me with lies. And he's like, I'm not the only one they doing it to. They did it to the medical examiner too. He said in California, the witnesses only have an obligation to keep secret the things he actually learned in the grand jury proceeding. He said a witness is bound only to secrecy regarding anything they learned solely from the grand jury proceeding. It does not apply to anything that they already knew before testifying or anything learned outside the grand jury. And it's for exactly this reason. If you already knew it beforehand, you have the right to talk about it. If you already knew it beforehand, you have the right to talk about it. If you learned it in the grand jury proceedings, then you don't have the right to talk about it yet. Because they're trying to build a case. And he's like, now they're trying to act like I don't have the right to talk about stuff I already knew. They're using this as they're lying, first of all, and they're doing it to silence me, second of all, which is illegal and unconstitutional. He said, I ain't going to no hearing from no handwritten note, you stupid. Y'all crazy? No. I wouldn't. I don't think I would either. He said, I want to pause here because many people are going to search this online, and Google AI is likely going to give them the wrong answer by claiming that witnesses must remain completely silent. But if you click through to the actual sources that the Google AI cites, you will see that the AI summary is incorrect. California law is silent on imposing total secrecy on a witness. Instead, witnesses are routinely admonished that they may not disclose certain things, but the certain things that they can't disclose only include the things that they actually learned in these hearings. Not independent knowledge that they already knew, and definitely not publicly known facts. In 1983, the California Attorney General issued a written opinion on this exact issue for legal clarification, and it is very clear. I have attached screenshots of that opinion. He said, I also want to be very clear about this. I never disclosed my testimony, even though the law should have allowed me to discuss my own testimony. Would have. He said, I want to be very clear. I never disclosed what I said to the grand jury, even though I was allowed to. I was allowed to discuss my testimony. The law is clear. I didn't even do that. He said, I never publicly disclosed that I was a witness before any grand jury, not once and certainly not twice. Instead, the deputy district attorney abused the power of the grand jury process in an apparent attempt to silence me. I was told that I broke the law, and I was given a dinky-ass handwritten note. Oh, I'm not even holding the thing up. Here y'all go. This one I'm reading. He said, I was told that I broke the law, and I was given a handwritten note telling me to appear in criminal court for a contempt hearing. There is no summons. There is no case number. The matter does not appear on the public docket. There is no documentation outlining what I am accused of so that I can respond. I also was told that if I left town, I had to be back by Tuesday morning. I wrote a detailed letter to both the judge and the deputy district attorney explaining my position. They have had that letter since Friday, he said. I received no response. With a hearing just hours away and the threat of a contempt charge hanging over my head in what appears to be a secret off-the-books proceeding, I had no choice but to go public so that the people and the press are aware of what's happening. This is the only way I can protect myself from what I believe to be an abuse of power. This is frightening that this is happening at the highest levels of our court system. There's power in transparency. I was left no choice. This is crazy. Unbelievable levels of corruption, lack of urgency, underfunded, maybe regain the trust of the citizens by holding your colleagues and higher ups accountable. This is crazy to me. So this is apparently it's not a summons. Looks like they wrote it on the back of a dirty piece of receipt paper. Tuesday, December 9th, 2020. This is some mafia-ass stuff if I ever did see. This is the type of stuff that Mark Garagos was meeting clients with up under a bridge. He said Tuesday, December 9th, 2025, 8:30 a.m., Department 123, 13th floor. Foltz Criminal Justice System, 210 West Temple Street, LA, California. Judge Olivia Rosales. Ooh, busted. Yep. What's done in darkness will come to light. Okay, this is the case that he's citing. In the Mercino case, the court noted a significant limitation upon the effect of an admonition or oath of secrecy for grand jury witnesses. Okay, so a limitation on exactly this. The effect of an oath of secrecy is said to be that such witnesses are not prevented, if they desire, from giving to anyone any information that they may have relevant to the matter in connection with what they were subpoenaed. Even though it is the same information they testified before the grand jury, The oath does not preclude them from disclosing what testimony they gave otherwise. Even though it kind of would reveal what happened in the grand jury room, like they were called in there for that purpose. So they already knew that information. You can't say they can't talk about public stuff. So apparently the court has already determined this. This is like 30, 40 years ago. They can't file. Somebody said they can't file real paperwork. It's a trail they don't need. Well, how many less? Oh, look at that. 13.7 thousand people done seen it. And they got 663 people in here right now. So at least that many. Anyway, this case that he cites or uses as a citation here, it goes on. An oath or admonition of secrecy on the part of a grand jury witness does not stop that witness from being able to relate what he or she learned before or after the grand jury appearance to anyone he or she chooses. He can talk about it if he wants to. This is the law. The only prohibition is the identification of what the witness knows as the subject of the grand jury inquiry. Thus, the witness may freely discuss the things he or she learns before or after the grand jury appearance if he or she so chooses, so long as he does not indicate that it was grand jury testimony or otherwise disclose the nature or subject of the grand jury inquiry. Well, I just want to show y'all that one more time because this is freaky. This is like very scary. Like I don't think that the government should be allowed to do this at all. No paper trail, and this is the paper trail, the back of a receipt paper. I mean, what in the crime family mafia, crime family hell is this? No, thank you. No, I'm calling Cash Patel on this one. I'm calling the Department of Homeland Security. No, I'm calling somebody. If anybody ever hands me something like this and says come to court for contempt, there's no case number. There's no complaint. There's no like actual notice that you're gonna hand me this. Oh, thanks. I needed to buy toilet paper anyway. That's basically how I treat that thing. Huh? I'm calling the department. I'm calling the FBI. No, don't hand me something like that. It sounds like the feds might need to be getting involved over here with this dirty, nasty, what these cops are doing over here. And they trying to silence everybody. I don't personally like it. Personally, me, I don't like it. Not Cash. This is not the way. This is not the way. I'm just so sorry. It's just not the way. Okay, somebody said they need more toner. They need more printer toner. I don't know what they need. They need more cents for sure. And I ain't talking about pennies, okay? Okay, so that was the other thing I wanted to tell y'all about. So now I want to move to the next and final topic of the day, and that is going to be a little bit of a pivot to FedLush1 over there on No Jumper, y'all. He has seriously... Hello everybody, thanks for watching the channel. What you just saw was a clip from a longer video. If you want to watch...
No thanks. I need to catch up. Okay.
What is that? EEZE. It looks like it has nutrition facts on it, but they got it in the bookcase like it's art. Okay, this is not a pantry. It's just actually like a sign of the times, truly. This is the name of the... First of all, let's start with the name of the video. We live in hell and this is proof. Quote, Whack, that's Whack 100, a man in his 50s and or 60s. I don't know how old he is, but I mean, has to be 50s. He reacts to Lena the Plug. This is Adam 1622 Grand Mason of Nashua, New Hampshire's wife. His possibly most valuable asset. And Whack 100, an old man, is reacting to Lena, a married woman, accepting Blueface, a convicted gang criminal. Okay, Blueface. He issued an SEX challenge to a married woman, and the married woman and him went back and forth, and now another grown man is reacting to it. Okay, so that's what we're looking at, all right? That's what we're looking at here. Okay. Don't worry, y'all. I'm not going to,
okay, so I interviewed Hazel Lee.
Send demons. I'm not going to send demons into your living room. I'm not going to send demons into your, car, into your wherever you are. Maybe you're at the break room at work or what. I ain't gonna send them over there by making you listen to this. No, I'm not gonna do that. But what I am gonna do, I'm gonna pause here. Okay. I just want to pause here because what the hell is this said? I really got to looking. I really got to looking at this bookcase. Okay, first of all, where'd the bookcase come from? Like, where do you even get something like that? Is it Amazon? I don't know. And then as I'm looking in the bookcase, I'm like, is this like? This is like if they made like a stereotype black exploitation film into a bookcase for 2025. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree. Put a 1 in the chat if this is like, okay, why does he have a 40 of why does he have a 40 of Old English? The more I look at this, the more pathetic and sad it actually is. Like, is this trying to like imitate poverty? What is this? What is it exactly? It looks like ass. It don't look good. Like, he could even taken like, look at the tiny little shooter of Patron or whatever it is. Then down there at the bottom, I'm having a hard time identifying. If somebody could help me identify, what is this? Is this Little Debbie's like snowballs down here? You see this box here? What is that? EEZE. It looks like it has nutrition facts on it, but they got it in the bookcase like it's art. Okay, this is not a pantry. This is like obviously they look at people's sets like mine and they're like, oh, look, there's cool stuff back. Look, I got an alien plushie and she's wearing a Ruth Bader Ginsburg collar because she's on the Supreme Court and she's got on a crown. It's irony because like a judge is a judge and a queen is a queen and it's an alien. I got a little cross stitch over there. It says come back with a warrant. Okay, so they see people who have taste. And they're like, oh, we should put stuff in our set. But how can we do it in like an offensive, insulting way that also looks terrible? Okay. And again, don't even get me started. Don't even get me started on the fact that we're in the detention room. You know what I mean? Like, I already told y'all, I feel like I'm in detention at Port Allen High School in 2006. I feel like, where's the outlet? I mean, this is just like, honestly, this is like a life imitating art, imitating life. It's like performing poverty. This man was born to a politically affluent family in Nashua, New Hampshire, and he is sitting in, where is he at? South side, wherever he is, LA. Near or on Figueroa, near or on Skid Row, something over there. Not where he's from. With a 40, a bottle of something. Oil is this? Liquor? Snacks? What's he doing? What is he doing? What in the hell is this? What is this? Why can't they put something else up on the walls? Where's the outlet? Why you got an outlet with nothing plugged in? It just looks like depression and misery. It looks like depression and misery. It's like this man got more money than he probably knows what to do with, or if he don't anymore, it's because he wasted it and squandered it. What's he doing over here? What are we doing here? What is it? This is not a pantry. What are they doing at this set? I don't get it. I don't get it. It's like, what is this? Just look at the floor. Look at, why did they put this down here? You might as well have kept it up there on the table.
We can go to the harbor now?
Imagine what it smells like in there. Look, the paint coming up off the wall. God forbid they put a baseboard. God forbid they put 1.5 feet of baseboard down there. No, we gotta have the rubber track down there. God forbid they put a little piece of painter's tape up to paint this. Well, hell no, why would we do that? We have to make it as ugly as possible. And look, they're back to this Wayfair table. This dusted, busted, crusted plywood table with a sticker to make it look like real wood. This little knob for the microphone or whatever done came out, the wire thing. Like, it looks terrible. It looks like it smells bad. It looks like if you just let, girl, I can't even say what it looks like. It's like they're doing it just to, to make me mad specifically. It's like they know I'm gonna hate it. What is it? What is this table? I'm starting to feel like they do it on purpose. And it's like, what in the Fed jumper? Hell, what is this? I don't like it at all. The one thing I will say is, WAC 100 is making very sensible shoe choices. Okay, that's I try to say nice things if I say a bunch of mean things, just even it out. I'm not mad at WAC 100's shoes. Now, what I will say is, maybe it's time to get dressed when we leave the house. From time to time. Just from time to time. Maybe it's time to get dressed when we leave the house. And I hate to say it. I do hate to say it. WAC 100 didn't even bother to match the grays. He didn't bother to match the grays on his, whatever this jumpsuit is. This Amazon, jumpsuit. It looks like maybe like he attempted, but look how light the top gray is. And it's like he's got on a grout fit. He's wearing a grout. They're both wearing grout fits. It's a gray outfit. Grout fit. And
Grout fit.
It's
I'm
like,
dead.
I don't know if that's a real Gucci hoodie. If it is, what a terrible. No wonder no jumper's going bankrupt. Did he write this Gucci jacket off on the no jumper taxes, or did he write it off on the plug talk taxes? I'm just curious. If he did pay full price for that, I'm gonna look it up. How much is a Gucci full zip hoodie? I just want to know. Gucci full zip hoodie, men's, gray black. Okay, wait, is this the one? I think the one Adam got is even more nice than this one. Okay, so this is not on Gucci.com. This is the Jumbo GG zip jacket. Is this? It's like a similar. Looks similar. I think that might be it. No, he doesn't have those gray little lines. Well, I mean, it's $2,400 over here if you want to get it on editorial list. You can get this one right here for nice. So it's like between $1,000 and $3,000, I guess I would say. I don't know. Of course, I never bought a Gucci zip-up hoodie, but no wonder he's going. I mean, look, it's terrible financial decisions if that's real. If it's not real, why'd you do that? What's all over his pants? Was he the one that was painting the wall? It hurts my eyes to look at it. Okay. That's all I really had to say about that.
Lol. BJ just gonna own your ass. Go, girl. Okay. Da 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 da. Let me see.
2025 Jezebel of the Year Award. Akash Singh's wife, the cuckening.
I was popping my pussy and living my best life in these white boy.
Welcome into my world. You're playing my game. When you try to use my name for a cloud, keep on going. Give you something you can talk about.
All right.
And when I call you up, you're gonna backtrack. What a fantastic song. Truly the song that keeps on giving, I'll say that. Okay, all right, so today, why isn't this letting me bring it over there? Oh no. Houston? Okay, I fixed it. I was gonna say we have a problem. Okay, so you may have seen some of the promotional materials, but I do have an awards show coming out. It's tomorrow. So I've been running around like, more than usual, trying to get everything together. It's going to be a production. There's going to be a red carpet. Okay, there's going to be a red carpet. And by red carpet, I mean it's a rug from inside my house. But I'm moving it to a different spot in my house for it to be the red carpet. And it's going to be a live BJ Investigates over there. So I did start putting out some of the the teaser trailers or whatever. So you may have seen those around. There's some changes that need
Ooh,
to
I
be
gotta
made to
plant
some of them. So
cucumbers.
don't get too attached to those nominations and those nominees just yet. Consider those to be, you know, teasers or whatever. But anyway,
Cucumbers
so
and
the reason I
leeks.
started out this video with that information was because
Melons.
again, I have to run today. Like,
Mangoes.
not physically, girl. I don't run. But I have to. I can't be on here too long today. Okay, but I
Cucumbers and
do want
leeks.
to cover some of the breaking news that I heard about. You
Pumpkins,
know, I want to
cucumbers,
talk about it.
leeks.
I want to discuss this breaking news that I saw, or it's not that breaking because it happened like yesterday. But okay, so here's the situation.
Pumpkins,
We have two
cucumbers,
things that we need to talk
leeks.
about. Three things we need to talk about. So two things. David Diddy, and then the third
Pumpkins,
thing, I'm gonna play
cucumbers,
some of the
leeks.
little,
Pumpkins, cucumbers,
nomination.
leeks.
Okay, like, ugh, girl, it's always something with his hair.
Pumpkins,
And then I'm gonna play some of the little nomination
leeks.
teaser trailers or whatever, just to like get y'all excited, get y'all hype. There's one category that y'all can vote on. It's Jezebel of the Year. The rest of the categories is just me.
Pumpkin.
And that surprise witness, BJ Investigates Studios. Okay. So first things first, let's start. I do have a TMZ article up. Okay, so if y'all are following the David
Can't make any more
case like
cucumbers
very
yet.
closely, then you might already heard about this because this news did come out yesterday. But again, if you're not following very closely, if you only get the news
Cucumbers
from me
and
for some
leeks we
reason, then
still
you might
need.
not have heard about this. And this is there's gonna perhaps be some type of arrest in the David case. But it's not David, and David and I should say Celeste Rivas Hernandez, because David, although he has been sort of like, you know, given a little nod in the media as if he is a suspect, the police, I don't believe, have come out and actually named him as a suspect officially, you know, to the public. So,
Stupid Dexter
Davis.
so I do
Hey,
want to
bitch.
be careful, you know, with, you know, saying. I do wanna be careful
88-63-0.
with saying, you know, okay, the David case or whatever, but that is pretty much, you know, what's going on here. It's like, you know, we think David is one of the suspects, but the last time I talked about the David case, we talked about the grand jury being assembled in the case, and apparently this grand jury has continued to operate. I don't know if this is like a real, you know, an official grand jury that has the power to indict, or if this is still one of those investigation grand juries. We did talk about Steve Fisher, the investigator on the case. We talked about, you know, he was a private investigator, and he got this weird, like, I don't know if that's what Mark Garagos was handing out to his clients under the bridge or what, but it was like basically like the back of a Wawa receipt, and you know, the back of it had that receipt or something.
girl.
And somebody wrote it on it and was like, okay, come to the contempt of court hearing, and he was like, I ain't going to that hearing. This is not notice. We want to come to a private hearing doing that. So he, you know, we talked about that on my most recent video. Well, now I do have some more information to report. This is an exclusive coming from TMZ. The title is Celeste Rivas Grand Jury, uncooperative witness to be arrested. Exclusive. Okay, so this was published yesterday at 2:30, so about 24 hours ago. Okay, there's a picture of David here. Let me turn on the reader view. Okay. It says there's trouble in the grand jury room where witnesses are testifying about the circumstances surrounding Celeste's death. Because at least one witness is so uncooperative, she is about to be
Fancy cat
arrested. Okay, so
tower.
this kind of rules out that they could be
Do we
talking
want
about
a tarantula
David or
and a
Steve
lizard
Fisher.
and a
'cause
turtle?
They saying she.
Yeah, I think we do.
Here's the way it went down. Beth Silverman, the deputy district attorney presenting the case in Los Angeles, came out into the hallway Wednesday afternoon, so that was yesterday, and approached attorney Evan Jeunesse. Okay, who's Evan Jeunesse? Well, Evan Jeunesse is the lawyer for someone we've already heard about. This Evan Jeunesse is the lawyer for that manager who came out into the hallway, and you know, this is my last David video, so y'all make sure to go watch that. But this person who came out into the hallway, it was like a day-to-day manager for David, came out in the hallway and he was like, The prosecutor seemed to be mad that, or really pushed me. She was really pushy on the, sorry, I have like 4 cases swirling around in my head right now. I'm trying to like find the part of my brain that has this case in it. The prosecutor was very pushy. This was David's manager. The prosecutor was very pushy on why I didn't call 911. I told her I didn't feel like I had the responsibility to call 911 because I just wanted to get back on to the door. Okay, so we talked about that. Now, the lawyer that he was out there in the hall talking to apparently was this one right here, Evan Janess. This Evan Janess represents Robert Morgan Roth, that's his name, who manages David. And that Robert Morgan Roth, he works for a company, or maybe he runs the company, called Mogul Vision. And guess who else works for Mogul Vision? The guy who rented David's house. Remember, there was like this guy that was like a manager, and he was renting the house that David was staying in. Well, he works for Mogul Vision, and here's this one works for Mogul, or directs Mogul Vision too. Morgan Roth, Robert Morgan Roth. So, yeah, I don't know if Evan Janess represents also that other manager. I forget his name at the moment, but this Robert Morgan Roth manages David. Now, this Evan Janess was in the hallway yet again yesterday, getting talked to yet again. Now, apparently the DA, Beth Silverman, storms out of the grand jury room, which is supposed to be secret. It's supposed to be secret. I mean, I never heard so much coming out of a grand jury room in my life, because this is supposed to be secret. But I guess TMZ has reporters and, you know, investigators and such staked out right there in that courtroom, so, or in the hallway. And so, you know, this lawyer, she's out in the hall, Evan, and then the Beth Silverman, the district attorney, the prosecutor, she comes out into the hallway and she starts making some statements that are apparently overheard by people. She told the lawyer she was going to have the judge issue a body attachment. Okay, so that's like an arrest warrant. Like, you have an attachment on your body such that whenever the police come in contact with your body, they're going to bring you to the court. This was going to be to force a female witness to testify before the grand jury. It appears that the female witness was a no-show, and a visibly frustrated assistant district attorney, this is the prosecutor, Beth Silverman, she was visibly frustrated. She said that she would have authorities take this female into custody and bring her into the courtroom. We do not know who the female witness is, but it's interesting. She's represented by the same lawyer as Morgan Roth, who's been around 3 days testifying before the grand jury. Okay, so this guy, this day-to-day manager, the one that was like, oh, I was getting pressed so hard on what was going on with the, why I didn't call the cops, I just wanted to get back on the tour. That guy was on the stand about 3 days testifying for this grand jury. It says TMZ broke the story. Morgan Roth was in the hallway on Monday telling his lawyer things got tense in the grand jury room. So his lawyer's the same one, Evan Janess. So Evan must just be sitting out there all day just waiting to answer questions. Telling his lawyer things got tense in the grand jury room when Deputy District Attorney Beth Silverman pressed down on him why he didn't call police. He didn't say what he knew that would make Silverman challenge him on not making the call, but he said he responded to her by saying he didn't think it was his duty, and he was just trying to keep David's tour going. Cha-ching! Cha-ching! That's the cash register. Ka-ching! Ching-ching! I'm pulling the cash register like old school, like we're in the saloon or whatever, okay? Morgan Roth is not worried about none of that. He's worried about money. This money changer. Cesati said TMZ has sleeper agents all over LA, including law enforcement and attorneys. Could be. Wonder if Sean Chapman Hawley is one of them. Anyway, so then it says it's unclear if the female witness has some connection to Morgan Roth, but it all points to David, who the DA and LAPD are treating as a suspect in what they say is the murmur of Celeste. Okay, I'm saying, murmuring, so you know what. Thanks so much to Lucas Rizzo for the £5 super chat. Hey, BJ, I'm curious to know about your take on the Kardashians being around Britney these days is very suspicious to me, and it's money changer behavior to me. The Kardashians have learned from the best momager in the world. She has single-handedly become, probably damn near a billionaire, at least 100 millionaire off the backs and the sex appeal of her own children. And so, of course, whenever you, with a mother like that, you can't help but probably learn the ways. So it's no secret that none of the Kardashians or Jenners have any talents to speak of at all whatsoever. I think if you want to call modeling a talent, maybe that one tall one, Kendall, that one might be talented. But the only thing that these women have really been known for is like sexual scandals. Like, Kim Kardashian basically put the family on the map with her tape with Ray J. And, that's pretty much the first time I ever heard about her. Whenever I was a young lass, as it were. And so, I think that now that they are getting old, all of us, look, present company included, us millennials, I'm happy about it. I'm gracefully just sliding right into my auntie era. I have fully arrived there. I was watching I Am Dex, and he was like, no, we're the same age, and I don't want to be an uncle. I'm like, oh, well, too bad you are an uncle. This is us. We're the adults. We've arrived. That doesn't mean we have to start acting like, the adults did whenever we were children, God forbid. But this is kind of where we are with things. And so I've noticed, gravity taking effect on parts and places that gravity wasn't affecting previous in my life, I've noticed a little wrinkle, a little fine line here or there. Me personally, I haven't found any gray hairs yet, but I'm sure it's coming. And so, the Kardashians,
I have
older
tons of gray hair.
are about 5 to 10 years older than I am. So I can only imagine that they too are starting to notice the effects of aging. And see, for people like them, that's a huge problem because they don't have any talent. Okay, they don't have any talent. They don't have any skills. And frankly, this over-wopification of everything, people are over it. People don't even care about a butt no more. People are getting their BBLs removed. Okay, it's people are going back to nature, as it were, in some ways. And so I can imagine the Kardashians and the Jenners, specifically the Kardashians, they have grown accustomed to a certain lifestyle and having a certain amount of money. But how are they going to make that money whenever they are getting wrinkly, saggy, and irrelevant? The Kardashians are so passé. So it doesn't surprise me at all that they would want to basically be vampiric succubi, I guess, on people who actually do have talent. And not only talent, but also people who people love. People love Britney Spears. They tried to make us hate Britney Spears. They will never make us hate Britney Spears. And so it doesn't surprise me at all that those money-changing succubi are trying to now leech like the parasitic leeches without talentless parasitic leeches that they are, onto somebody who's more beautiful and more talented and more beloved than them. So that's what I think is going on. That's my opinion. I don't know these people, so I have no way to know anything more than just my opinion, but that's what I think about it. Thank you for the £5 super chat. Thanks so much, Jade, for the £2 super chat. Thanks so much. Thank you to Kelly Ann.
Thank you for us today.
Okay, yeah, it's
today.
Succubi.
What do you mean it's today?
Kind of like, that's how I feel about it. And that's another thing too. They stupid. No offense, but they are. Like, just because you can't pass the bar exam doesn't mean you're stupid. I will tell you from firsthand experience, it's one of the most difficult tests, not only to take, but to study for that I've ever taken. I was in school for like 27 or something years. Okay, like I was in school more years of my life than I've done anything else in my life. More years of my life, like more than half of my life years I was in school. More than probably 80%.
Am I supposed to
cook
something?
I've taken a standardized test or two in my day.
Something to death for him?
The bar exam is very, 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 very difficult. And truly, wake up on the wrong side of the bed and you could have failed it too.
Front garden.
But
all right then.
Kim Kardashian's been so-called supposedly studying to be a lawyer for about 8 years, 4 years, 6 years, a long time, like at least twice as long as it takes to get a law degree. She has all this money. She has access to all the, literally probably legal professors. She probably literally has them in her social circles. And all this money, she could have gotten private tutors. She'd been studying for the LSAT for like, I think years and still failed it. Then she came out with Dr. Amen and wanted to do a brain scan. I could have told her ass that there was going to be holes in her brain. I could have told her that. And I've done a video too on this Dr. Amen guy. It's not really holes in your brain. It's not like holes in your brain. It's like areas of lower blood circulation and activity and stuff, but he makes it seem like it's holes in your brain. But anyway, yeah, I'm in my auntie era, and I'm not going to, I'm not going to quabble or quibble about it. I am, and I like it. It feels nice. It feels good to be a grown-ass adult.
Turkey.
I don't feel anymore. It's like as soon as I hit 35, I'm like, I'm grown. Like, there was this time between, like, I don't know, 24 and 34 where I was like, I don't know. Are we the adults? I feel like a kid myself. No, I don't. I don't feel like a kid myself. I feel more qualified to do most things than most people they put on TV. I could be the president. Yes, I could, but I don't worry. CIA, take me off the list. I ain't running. Okay, don't worry. I ain't running for president. I reserve the right to change my mind, but I don't think I want to be president because no, then I have to deal with those vampiric succubi in the White House. I ain't trying to do that. I feel like I could do most things. Whatever Katy Perry and Gayle King did on that rocket ship, I could have done it better than whatever that was. Anybody you put up on TV, I pretty much, like, almost all of them could do better than, like, almost, I could do everybody's job better than them. There's a few things I definitely can't do. Shout out to the people that's, like, building houses. I can't do that. Laying tile, I can't do that. Accounting, probably not. No, I probably can't do that. You know, there's some things that I'll admit it, but, like, just in general, I'm grown. I'm capable, and I don't feel like I'm a little kid at all anymore. No, I feel grown, and that's just that. So, but with the thing with Kim Kardashian, is she stupid too? Because she got all that money, she had all this time, and she still can't pass the bar. That's the only. She's an idiot. That's my opinion. Anyway, yes, exactly. I'm 90. Why'd they put her in Space Girl? I don't know. And why'd she do the LSD before? I don't know. I mean, I don't know if she did or didn't, y'all. I didn't take a blood sample or anything, but it looked like psilocybin or, you know, I'll say psychedelic behaviors, to say the least. And no shade, you know, no shade. Okay, so
We pretty much take it all. Fridges and dishwashers and dressers, drawers, couches, mattresses.
that was the Morgan Roth of it all. Okay, so let's see. Vice put an article out of this to the same effect. So let me see if it says anything else new, different. I think this might just be a
Ooh.
citing
What do we have here?
TMZ article, but let's see real
A
quick because this one just
new
came out a
area.
couple few hours ago.
Ooh,
Police
a
reportedly
hot
making arrests
spring.
around Celeste Riva's death, but it's not David. David is not being taken into custody. Not. David is not being taken into custody over the death of Celeste, but an alleged uncooperative witness may be arrested months after the body of Celeste was found inside a car registered to singer David. Grand jury hearings are underway. Things are seemingly getting intense. However, as police are reportedly set to make an arrest. According to TMZ, one female witness has been uncooperative. Okay, so they're just like citing TMZ. LA Deputy Beth Silverman is apparently allegedly calling for the arrest of the unnamed witness. The outlet states that the witness is represented by attorney Evan Jeunesse. Notably, Jeunesse represents Morgan Roth, David's manager, who testified for about 3 days. Now, manager in Hollywood can mean a lot of things. Manager in the music industry can mean a lot of things and often does mean a lot of things. Okay, so what kind of manager? I don't know. Girl, I don't know. She's been studying for like 5 years with all the resources in the world. I'm feeling like, I mean, I could pick up this freaking camera lens cap. I mean, I feel like this thing right here could pass the bar exam if you gave it all that. Anyway, so what else do I want to talk to y'all about today? Diddy. Diddy's lawyers are apparently very mad. Okay. Now we did kind of a little bit touch on this the last time I talked about Diddy as well. And we talked, oh no, look at my little alien. She done fell down back there. That's because I took the crown off her head. I gotta do something with that background. It's time for a refresh. I need to take everything off of there and all that. But that's what I get for making fun of Adam 1622 Grand Mason and his
just found a dude in a
exploitation
random
film
bedroom,
bookcase
and you're
or whatever
affecting
thing
my
yesterday.
storage.
And like I was calling that thing a bookcase. It's
Trying to
really like
get
a display
down.
case. But anyway. Thanks so much to 1111 Morgan being a member for 2 months. Cousin, this David case is such a mind beep. Nevertheless, thank you for your coverage. Love you. Also, the hair is eating. I did something a little different to it. I actually used hairspray. I used hairspray in it. It's wash day though, so isn't that always such a shame when it's like finally like my hair's like, you know, a little greasy back there, but I didn't put no dry shampoo in it. Isn't that the worst whenever it's finally wash day and your little waves or your little curls, they've been like, you know, acting a little bit crazy and unruly up by the front of your face, and then all of a sudden they decide to do what they're supposed to do, and it's the day you're supposed to wash your hair.
Ooh, I'm naked.
That's me today. Somebody said I'll make a great judge. I got my
water.
little
How do you get in the
gavel.
water? Jump.
Okay.
Engage. Hop.
So we did talk about
Get in the fucking water.
We did talk about Diddy the last time I
do you
was
get in the
on here
water?
talking about Diddy. We talked about the fact that
Why did I get
Diddy's
naked
lawyers
if I
probably
can't
did
get in
not
the
know
water?
that they were being recorded
Where's
on
your
the
birth?
phone. He was recording them on the phone, and like on their calls about trial strategy, and things like that. And the fact that Diddy allowed other people to listen in on those calls made it such that those calls were no longer privileged. They were no longer confidential under the lawyer-client privilege, because now all these other people were in the room. Now, even if other people were just in the room, simply in the room, you can waive your privilege. But especially when you allow it to be recorded. Okay. So by another person. So Mark Agnivolo
All right, I'm coming
apparently is
down
mad,
from the-
and Mark
from the
Agnivolo is
temple
not
that I
coming
just
out and saying
found
it
up the
himself,
fucking-
but he seemingly
up at the
is
top.
allowing
I found
to
a-
Harvey
I
Levin
found
from
a
TMZ
thing.
to come out and say it.
What's this way?
And let me pull
The
up
hot
the video.
spring.
I'm going up the mountain.
Tanukis. Tanukis. Oh, there's some Tanuki statues. That's it. Alright then. Goodbye.
Oh wow!
We gotta go
What
to the
is
castle
this?
garden.
David arrests
Go to the
Shotgun
castle garden
as
and
Diddy
speak to
gets
the
into huge
dude.
Trouble. Oh no, that's clickbait. TMZ got to do something to put a title every now and again. Okay, what's this? I think this is it.
I gotta say, this is awful that Diddy owes his life to
Okay.
Mark Agnifilo.
I have a theory. I haven't heard anybody say this theory. Shout out to Rabbit in the chat, because I did see her earlier on live, and she was talking about, I think it was this video, or it was another one very similar to it. And maybe Rabbit did say this. Maybe someone did say this. I wasn't in for the whole live because, like I said, y'all, I've been running around like a chicken with my head cut off trying to get this award show set up for tomorrow. And I don't know if y'all saw on BJ Investigates too, I did a little like behind the scenes live for members only. So if you're a member, then you were able to be in that live. But then I ended up like editing it down a little bit and then putting it out to make it available to everybody. But I have a theory. Thank you to Rabbit. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Hit the like, hit that like. Thank you, Rabbit. Thank you to Moody Mary for member for 1 month. Love you, girl. Hugs from Portugal. Oh my goodness. Shout out to the Portuguese cousins in the chat. That's my cousins over there, in case y'all did not know. There's a man in my chat right now sexually harassing me. Okay, Lack Gray. I'm putting this up here because I'm going to be reporting you, possibly to the police. I don't play around. I do not play around with stuff like this. I am someone's fiance, and I do not play around like this, and I hope you get arrested. And now you're blocked from my channel forever. Anyway, so I'm a child of God. I don't play those games. Anyway, this face Harvey Levin is making right now is basically the face that I made of that man just now in my mind. Okay, so anyway, bye, disgusting cretin. So I have a theory. Okay, let me get to my theory. My theory is that Harvey Levin is shaking and quaking in his boots because guess who else might have been recorded getting talked to? Mark Garagos. Guess who's Mark Garagos? That's the other half of the Two Angry Men. So if Mark Garagos was maybe talking to Diddy, could Harvey, it seems to me Harvey is shaking and quaking in his boots because he don't know who got recorded now. They got 50 Cent, Uncle 50 Cent's out here going everywhere, all over, to and fro, high and low, saying that ain't the only footage he got. There was a bunch of footage he wasn't able to put into the
Red,
documentary. It's the number one docu-series in the world.
Well, I don't know what they
It's the
want.
number one docu-series in the
you
world
want
right
purple?
now.
Okay, you
number
want
one in
green.
the U.S., number one in the U.K., number one in hell, number one in heaven. They watching the Diddy series everywhere. Okay. And we got Uncle 50 out here on everybody's couch, on everybody's chair, on everybody's podcast, on everybody's newsroom going, yeah, I got more tapes. Because you see, I totally agree. Amanda is awake. I believe OF has directly contributed to the downfall of our society, and so has WAP. Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B and Kylie Jenner, those three vampiric succubi, in my opinion. In my opinion, I believe they are directly contributing the WAPification and the downfall of our civilization. And truly, and look, listen, I've never said this out loud before, but I'm feeling emboldened to say it today. I feel like a big reason why we're seeing so many assaults on the rise by strangers. See, used to be most of the time the assaults that happened on women were done by people we knew, people that you were in a relationship with at some point, et cetera, et cetera. But now it's like, oh, like a blonde lady walking down the
Tied.
street, let's snatch her up. I truly believe a huge part of that rise in this type of activities is because people like Bonnie Blue, people like Lily Phillips go out and they act like the most grotesque and detestable types of activities are something that's enjoyable and fun. And actually it's like grotesque, detestable, and painful and disgusting and debasing. And I think it's got the young men across the world real confused. I think there should be things that you should know, right? Like there should be things you should know. But whenever you're making fantasy photo shoots, we'll say, where it's the fantasy of saying, no, stop. And then the person continues. I'm like honestly getting hot in the face even thinking about it. Like this is affecting young women, young men in irreparable ways. We have to nip it in the bud. Okay. Anyway, that's just my opinion. Anyway, let's get back to this other creep over here. Harvey Levin, innocent until proven guilty. But I believe he might be quaking and shaking in his boots over what maybe possibly he is on reporting saying, or what maybe his little business, I don't know, I won't say business partner, because I don't know if they actually, what the status
I got
of the
ahead of him
nature
that
the
time.
relationship with Mark Garagos is in particular.
Hi, babies.
But Mark Garagos helped pick the Diddy jury. Okay, you remember at the beginning of the Diddy documentary, we have Mark Agnifilo on the phone with Diddy, and Diddy's going, we need somebody that can do propaganda. Somebody that could do the dirtiest work, somebody that's done it here in other countries, somebody knows how to do. We need propaganda, Mark Agnifilo. You are a lawyer for the courtroom, and I need one for the public court of public opinion. And so who was I speculating? Put a 1 in the chat if you remember me speculating at that time. I bet you that one that he picked up was Mark Garagos. Put a 1 in the chat if you remember. But anyway, so here's Harvey. Now, you will note the disdain in this man's voice. The disdain, okay? I've never heard this type of disdain in his voice for any of the things that Diddy was accused of. Now, somebody else did say this, too. Maybe it was Rabbit. Maybe it was Murad. I don't know. It was somebody's coverage I was watching earlier today, this morning, and they were saying, you know, I never heard him talking like this about any victims. I never heard him
36
seem like he was,
second,
like,
bitch.
really feeling it with his
Yes.
full chest like this about really much else. His
Oh,
back room was
yeah.
cheering, applauding whenever it was announced that Charlie Kirk was assassinated and dead right in front of all of us. So I never heard him take
Nice.
this type of conviction.
Enough,
that.
the king
But
says.
whenever one of
I
his
am
fellow
the
1%er
king.
buddies,
Oh no, he's the prince? Hey,
one
that
of
guy
his
is
fellow elite
holding meat?
has his phone
Is that
calls
an axe or
recorded.
a
Oh my
meat?
God, he gets the case at a
What a
red ass.
big
Let me
ass
show
wad
y'all.
of meat.
Let me show y'all. I'm gonna speed it up. Again, I do have to run very shortly, but I want to show y'all this. Just at the very least to show you how mad Harvey Levin is capable of being. Who knew? Who knew?
Life to Mark Agnifilo. Literally his life, because
Okay, wait,
he
no,
could have
we
gotten
gotta-
life in prison.
This
were
is
it not
ominous.
for
Listen.
I gotta say, this is awful that Diddy owes his life to Mark Agnifilo. Literally his life, because he could have gotten
let's just take that statement in and of itself. I already told y'all. If something ever happens to Diddy, he gets put in a conservatorship or something, I'm not going to be leading the Free Diddy movement. I'm just so sorry. I'm just not. I reserve the right to change my mind, but like that's just not what I see happening for me in my life in the cards. Okay, whatever Diddy has coming to him, he just got coming. But like, if I could remove myself from knowing who Diddy is for just one moment and thinking, oh, he deserves it or whatever, and just think about the fact that a reporter, a tabloid reporter, is sitting up with one eye closed on his own show saying somebody owes their life. Literally, he said, literally, Diddy owes Mark Agnifilo his life. I don't know about y'all, but where I came from and where I come from, when you owe somebody your life, it's because they saved your life. Like, that's really the only reason why you would owe somebody your life. Or maybe they saved, like, your kid's life or something. Like, I owe you my life means I was going to die. And I didn't because of you. So we have a Harvey Levin saying Diddy owes Mark Agnifilo his life. That seems very strange to me. It seems like a weird, like, threatening. I don't know. It's just the fact that it opens with that. It freaks me out for some reason. But again, I mean, Diddy can catch his own fades, because if Diddy wanted any sympathy from me ever, if Diddy ever wanted any sympathy from me, he should have told his PR team to tell his PR plants not to be belligerent buffoons and physically violently threaten me and make me feel afraid for my safety in a federal court building. He should have done that if he ever wanted my help with anything. It's just, you know, no. Too late. Too late. The toothpaste is out the tube.
I gotta say, this is awful that Diddy owes his life to Mark Agnifilo.
Look how
Literally
mad
his
he
life,
is.
because he could have gotten life in prison were it not for Mark Agnifilo, his defense lawyer, who had a brilliant strategy. And Diddy screwed him over when he hired this videographer to chronicle his life without telling Mark Agnifilo that when Diddy and Mark were on the phone, this videographer was recording what Mark clearly...
So you see what I mean? You see what I mean? He's like, Mark didn't even know. It's like, well, how do you know what Mark knew? I certainly don't know what Mark knew and didn't know. Do you? Put a 1 in the chat if you don't know what Mark Agnifilo knew. But Harvey Levin is saying it full-chested like he knows. So did he get it secondhand from his buddy Mark? The Matrix has 6 names. Y'all know. Did he get it from his buddy Garagos, who got it from Agnifilo? Does Harvey have a direct line to Agnifilo? I mean, these are questions, but you see what I mean? Like, it kind of seems like he's in touch with somebody, and he and whoever the somebody is letting Harvey be the mouthpiece.
An attorney-client privileged relationship. Now, it is true that the client holds that privilege. The lawyer doesn't. But Mark's clear expectation was that this was a private conversation. These were private conversations. And that he and Diddy could talk openly. And Mark could talk to Diddy. Not just
What does 50 Cent, what does my uncle 50 Cent have Mark Agnifilo on the phone saying? Ooh, what if it's like something like, listen, anybody with the last name Agnifilo who lives in New York, I come in peace. That's probably maybe that's my cousins. I don't know if I have any Italian cousins. Y'all can let me know. But like, it's giving mafia family. It's giving, I don't want to really mess with him. I already say, like, you know, he's going to hell and stuff, but I'm not recording my phone calls with him if I ever have them. Okay. Nope. And I definitely, nope. I definitely ain't letting some third-party cameraman come in and come through. One other thing I want to say too about something I noticed about how Harvey is talking. He's talking in a way where it's kind of like making it a public breakup. It almost seems like he's kind of announcing Mark Agnifilo's pissed. He's not going to be putting his life and his neck and his career and his reputation on the line.
I need a bunch of
for
whiskey.
the likes of Sean P. Diddy Puff Daddy Combs anymore, because Mark feels burnt. He feels betrayed, I think. He feels like, hold on, dude. You let me sit on that phone and say any and every kind of thing. You recorded yourself talking to me on that phone.
Where the whiskey?
And you didn't bother to give me a heads up you were doing that? It's like, why would you do that? And look, listen, I think Mark Agnifalo's going to hell and stuff, but if I'm Mark Agnifalo, I'm going to be pissed. Oh my God, I'll be so mad. I would be so mad. And so there's a few like things that I feel like if you kind of like do a little bit of a reach and read between the lines is really kind of going on here.
Dark beer.
Okay, certo. I have Italian
Make a chocolate Guinness
cousins.
cake.
How you say cousin in Italian?
Fancy.
Ciao, bellissima.
Oh, fancy.
Come
We're gonna
stai?
do that.
That's how you say that?
Gotta get some
How good am
Guinness.
I at Italian?
Chocolate.
Como stai?
Guinness.
Or is it stay?
Dark.
Is it certo?
With a
Yeah, I
stout.
definitely like that. Feels like I could say that. I do think I might have some Italian
There we go,
cousins. I think I
dark.
could probably speak Italian if I
We
like
need more dark.
trained or whatever.
Let's see if I can take one of these out too.
None of these people cope well with a lack of control. They wail like toddlers. And I mean, like, honestly, who does? Who really does? But yeah, I mean, when they have all this power and all this money, but they still don't have control, it's
Take
really
it.
embarrassing for them. Oh my gosh, Slay.
We're out of
My
chocolate.
pronunciation,
Gotta
would
make
you
more
say,
chocolate.
is it bene? Bene? But
Damn it!
what's good in Italian? Bene. Is that, am I making that up?
Bene.
Okay.
Bene.
To guide him in a time leading up to his arrest. And unbeknownst to Mark Agnifalo, Diddy has got this guy recording.
Look
the
how mad he
conversation
is.
As he's sitting there saying, "You are screwing this up. You are messing up this case. We're losing." And knowing that that's on tape. And it's almost like he's performing for the camera.
Yes.
And not telling Mark what's going on.
Agreed.
And the really enraging part about it is,
Look how
that Mark
enraged.
Agnifalo won this case for Diddy with legal strategy. It wasn't just an accident that this jury that had heard all of this in the news before the trial voted not guilty on all the serious charges. It was Mark Agnifalo that did that.
Okay, so again, I'm reading between the lines a little bit, but I think that there was a little bit of a turf war, and this happens with a lot of these big celebrity trials where they have like a big personality as the client. This happened in the OJ trial where it's like, you know, it's one thing to be a real good lawyer and be able to navigate federal court or criminal court, but it's another thing to be able to navigate the media, and it's another thing to be able to navigate the trust with the client. Remember Kim Kardashian's daddy, Robert Kardashian, went and like renewed his law license. Poor thing, he did not pass down any of those genes to her. She cannot even pass the freaking bar exam. Poor thing, bless her heart. He passed 2 apparently. Anyway, so he trusted him. Robert Kardashian was a trusted person as far as O.J. Simpson
gotta
was
make rice
concerned, and he
flour.
wasn't the best lawyer. I mean, he wasn't even practicing, I don't think, at the time. But then he gets brought in. So in the Diddy case, I think what was going on was Mark Agnifalo had it on lock in the courtroom. I mean, I even was able to see Mark Agnifalo, how he handled himself in court, how he spoke to the judge, how he made his arguments on that day that I went. And he's good. He's good inside court. But that's a totally separate thing from the circus outside court. And you know who is good
Hi, Mac,
outside
Mac.
court in the circus? Mark Garagos.
How you
It's
doing,
true.
baby?
They both going to hell as far as I'm concerned, but they both know how to navigate in their respective realms. I'll say jurisdiction, for lack of a better word. But I believe Mark Garagos was out here running PR for Diddy. That's what I believe. And don't forget, Teeny Garagos is Mark Garagos' daughter. She was on Diddy's trial team. She did some of the questioning. She did some of the statements, the opening or the closing or something. So, I think what Harvey Levin is doing here is saying, yeah, Mark Garagos is my friend and stuff. But Diddy really does owe what happened inside that courtroom to Mark Agnifalo. Because Mark Agnifalo was not on Two Angry Bird podcast every day.
I need the big
He was inside that court.
flour.
He was putting forth preposterous,
Rice flour.
in my opinion, some of them bad faith arguments, stupid arguments. Most preposterous stuff. It's like lies so big that they would never think it could possibly be a lie. I'm not saying he lied for sure in court, but like, I mean, he sure did say that notepad said legal on it and it did not, for example. So does that mean he knew? Does that mean he didn't? I don't know. But I see Harvey Levin here being like, dude, you don't get to, oh, Mark Garagos won the case for me about things, Diddy. Because the person putting in those hours, long hours for months, over a year, was Mark Agnifalo. And he got other stuff to do. He's Luigi Mangione's attorney. He was somebody else's. I mean, he's got other stuff to do. And he really did, for all intents and purposes, he did win this case for Diddy. Diddy was facing truly life in prison, and he's only going to probably serve a few couple years. So, streets are saying, and by streets I mean YouTube and TikTok and the rest, are kind of starting to mumble and grumble. What's really on these 50 Cent tapes that he has? What's really on these tapes? Now, look, listen, the tinfoil hat in me says this is all just a big op to get it to where whenever you start Googling Diddy tapes, what comes up is whatever 50 Cent has instead of whatever terabytes they took from inside his house, like who knows what white parties, who knows what was on those security cameras. Maybe if they just want us to Google Diddy tapes and then they just think we're talking about these ones, talking to his lawyers. But, I mean, the powers that be have reasons to want to take down Mark Agnifilo, too, because that man defends the hell out of his clients. He wins these cases. He does. He does. So, I don't know. These are all just, listen, I don't know for sure any of this.
Diddy secretly records this guy and embarrasses him. And yeah, you could say, well, Diddy never expected that it would end up being broadcast somewhere else. Well, okay, but Diddy was planning on using it, or he wouldn't have had it recorded in the first place. So it's just really, really unfair. And I know that in a way this sounds crazy that I'm getting so upset about Diddy.
He
and yet
knows.
there's video of Diddy beating Cassie. Well,
He knows. Harvey knows that he's coming across as like, this is bizarre. You have been reporting for 30 or plus years on the most grotesque and detestable creatures that exist on planet Earth, and they live right over there in LA, those Hollywood weirdos. And this is what you're choosing to get your cortisol through the roof. He's sweating. He's red in the face. He's red in the face. He's like, well, I know. I saw the video of Cassie. Yeah, I know you didn't see I was upset about that, as upset about that as I am about this. But. I mean, that's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing. And it just don't look good.
Horrendous. But that doesn't mean you can't look at something else as well.
Okay.
And I just think, as a lawyer, I just
Can't
think
make it
this is
work?
just so
That's because you're in
outrageous
Uzbekistan.
that he would do something like this.
Why are we open? Don't open
and not
us
even
today.
understanding what Agnifilo's legal theory was, because I will tell you that when we did our first documentary on Diddy, which
ready
was
to be
8
open
months
today.
before the trial, Mark Agnifilo said to me
Be
on
open.
camera that he is to tell this jury that this was a successful black man that prosecutors were trying to take down because they couldn't get into his bank accounts because they were clean, and he couldn't deal with taxes because he wasn't
Wow.
committing tax fraud. So they go into his bedroom.
You
And
borked it
that's
real good, huh?
what Mark Agnifilo said 8 months before. And he goes into the trial, and he essentially wins that argument, whether you believe it or not. A jury that sat through the whole thing, they believed it, and ultimately they convicted him on this BS
What can
Mann
you
Act
load
thing.
from
So
there?
Diddy
Nothing?
won.
Okay, hold on. BS Mann Act thing. Okay, the man has lost it. It's time to put him out to pasture. And by that I mean retire. Okay, so anyway, I wanted to report on that. And I also want to show y'all some of the categories of things. Oh no, I need to go to BJ Investigate. That are up for the award show, because this is funny. Okay, so one of the awards is Clapback of the Year. Let me show you the nominees. Okay, here it is right here. Clapback of the Year nominees.
2025 Clapback of the Year. Bald-headed scallywag. And Hefe versus that surprise witness.
Motherfucking Disney frog with a wig on.
Croaking, quite literally like a frog. You are a bald-headed scallywag.
Cardi B. It's a wig.
I know you guys having a little key with the moment.
Yesterday you had black hair, short hair. Today it's blonde and long. Which one is your real hair?
They're wigs.
BJ investigates hair follicle test.
There's some lies going around about me, and it's led me to have to take a hair follicle drug test.
People powdering their nose right on live. What? Who was powdering their nose on live? BJ.
That surprise witness versus Megan Cuniff.
She's had a bounce in her step now. She looked rode hard and put up wet or something. And I commented that on Megan's, supposedly neutral coverage. And this reporter, she fired back something sassy.
Yep, that's clapback of the year. Okay, there's more. There's also court reporter of the year, and this category is gonna actually have even more nominees, but the little trailer doesn't have all the nominees in it, but it will by the time we do the live tomorrow. So let me show y'all the current right now nominees. This one's court reporter of the year.
A court reporter of the year. Armand Wiggin.
Wait, hold on. What the hell?
2025 Court Reporter of the Year. Armand Wiggins.
And I see you in your
Shut your dirty ass up.
dirty stuff.
Look at you, bitch. I'm not arguing with you.
Chloe Maylors.
Why did you advocate for Britney Spears to be on a conservatorship? You were advocating for Britney Spears to be in a conservatorship. She's now in a court-sealed care plan because of you and people like you. We don't appreciate that.
Megan Cuniff.
Megan, what do you want other bloggers to know about their behavior online?
Then they also had Megan back on the stand to ask
Burger?
her about her comedy.
Load it up and see if it'll load.
Outside the courthouse, which the judge ruled was in violation.
I'll switch
of
to
the gag
burger.
order. So I actually got brought up.
And how verified is that? Because you weren't 100% sure if this happened at first when you tweeted about it, right?
Murad Merali.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Oh my god.
That surprise witness.
Hello, everybody. This is just a short update. I am in my hotel. I am white.
We're outside the courthouse. I didn't get to see the judge or anything, but it was like basically I think I chose like the most boring day of the whole entire trial.
Tisa tells.
Guys, how y'all doing today? Well, baby, if your name is Sean Diddy Combs, you are crying a river. Yeah, I know. When got fired when she went.
Okay.
It was like a video. Dawn was ready. She is angry, mad.
Isn't that so fun? There's also Jezebel of the Year. There's some other ones. Yeah, I mean, I'm aware. Okay, so first of all, like I told y'all, the Court Reporter of the Year category is gonna have some more additions made to it, so maybe it'll be the one that y'all want. What I will say is this is a bias award show, and it's kind of just a joke. And really the main reason is like I really wanted to kind of do like a year in review type event type thing, and I kind of wanted to spoof a little bit like a spoof on like the VMAs or like remember the MTV Video Music Awards, and they would play these commercials and we'd get all hyped and we'd watch it, and Nickelodeon Teen Choice Award. Like I kind of wanted it to kind of just like feel a little bit like that, and it's just kind of a joke. Like it really is more of a comedy special. The voting committee is me, so like it's not a real award show. Like I just want to let y'all know, like there's no prize. The award is just like you won, and like I didn't even tell anybody that they're nominated. But that being said, I am, because I am, so cool and popular and everyone really likes me and all that. I'm sure, some people are gonna say, well, why didn't you nominate so-and-so for the so-and-so? Y'all, it's not real, it's fake. Okay, it's not a real award show. There's no, it's just a silly, fun thing I've just had in my mind that I wanted to do. It's not real. And also, y'all are free to do the same. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna be bullied. I'm gonna be pushed around and told what to do either. So, I'm sure there's gonna be, people that give comments and ideas where it's like, oh man, I do wish I would have thought of that because that was funny. That was a good idea. But this isn't real, okay, y'all? So hopefully nobody takes it too seriously because it's literally just a joke. It's a fake bias award show. But I also wanted to spoof a little bit on the fact that all award shows are fake. Like, all of them are fake. All of them are fake. All of them are who do you know? Who do you know? Do you really think that the Grammys is really voting on the best song of the whole year? Because they definitely not. The song that wins every year is most certainly not the best song of each year. Okay, so it's kind of just like a joke. It's kind of a joke. It's kind of a performance art. It's kind of life imitates art. If you didn't get nominated for a category, please don't be offended, y'all. It's literally a joke video. Okay, so if you are offended, like go make an award show. Don't give me an award, I guess. You'll be doing it. Your award show will be even faker than mine if you don't give me an award. But you know, whatever. That's fine. Anyway, so that's gonna be tomorrow. That's gonna be tomorrow, and it's gonna be in the evening time. I think probably we're gonna shoot for around 6 o'clock. And tomorrow, make sure that you're signed up because we're gonna have to be doing a couple of dress rehearsal moments tomorrow. So we will go live with those. If you're a member, you'll be able to see the live, you know, the member live. But then
nice.
you do not have to be a member to see the
Okay.
actual award show live at night.
Let me
that'll be open to
drop
the public.
shit
You will
off
be able
and
to come
save.
in. You will be able to come and see what's going on. But like throughout tomorrow, it's going to be like the whole day is going to be like setting up for this event. It's going to be me and 2 people. Okay, it's like a whole entire production. It's going to be me and 1 or 2 other people, depending on scheduling. So I have been wanting to do this award show thing for a couple years. I think it's going to be fun, and that's all I really had for this one. Actually, I do have some more things to say, but like I said, I'm running around like a chicken with a head cut off right now because I got to get a whole bunch of other stuff done.
Saving.
So shout out to y'all. Shout out to thanks so much for coming through, and I will be back. Probably the next time y'all will see me is probably going to be that live tomorrow night, but I might be able to squeeze a little live in tomorrow if something crazy happens. Shout out to Brittany becoming a member. I thought you were already a member.
All right.
Yes. Don't worry.
Burger.
The outfit will be outfitting. There's a whole entire makeup and wardrobe section of the schedule tomorrow. That's just going to be me doing that. That's all I really have for this one. In the meantime, back saying defamation. Neither are opinions. I don't know these people. Okay, they're all innocent until proven guilty. Love you, mean. Okay, bye.
Okay. Next video. Boop. Let's.
Mother-in-law
Wait.
refuses.
Damn it, Charlotte, wait. There we go.
My boyfriend found out a secret of mine, and now he won't leave me alone. What's the secret? Can you tell me? I'm a writer. A serious writer who got her first book published and a few poems that made its way to the local paper. Period. I make a living out of it. I also have a very secret blog that I use to publish fan fiction under a pseudonym. I know when we mention fan fiction, the first thing that comes to mind is I'm an obsessed fangirl who writes countless of OCs, and all of them are in love with an alter ego of myself and blah blah.
I'm a huge fan.
No, I just really like exploring my favorite characters and the universe they live in. If I'm reading a book, playing a game, watching a movie, I sometimes think, what if? And write it out. It's been my secret for a long while now. It used to be. My boyfriend found my blog when I forgot to clear out my history on my laptop. I don't hide stuff from him, it's just a bit of a habit I picked up since I was a child and was curious about spicy videos phase. We had a family computer, and if I didn't clear the history, I'd get caught, so I would always do this. He's been mocking me for it. Mocking me. I'm not fragile. I can take mocking every now and then, if I know it's not really malicious. My boyfriend, on the other hand, keeps laughing and making jokes about me being a Tumblr girl, about me wanting to be with those characters, and
We're playing
so
Burger,
on.
Tara.
It's
Move
to
your
the
ass.
point where he read a few and started nitpicking and making fun of some of it.
Hang on,
A
let me
person
open
who
Discord.
criticizes someone's artwork. It's a hobby, it's something she does for fun, and I fail to understand like why it's so funny. Honestly, I think he's a little jealous. I talked to him, he dismissed me. I finally snapped yesterday when he came over and I was writing, again, for the local paper, and he said, writing your weird smut fan fiction fangirl? It's exactly people like OP that end up writing big blockbuster movies. People with like big imaginations, people that really enjoy what they do. They enjoy the art of it. Like if he enjoys movies and TV shows and books and like media, guess who the type of person is behind those things that you like watching and those things that you consume. I always find that the people that are making fun and the people that say that it's cringe or whatever are people that are too scared to do it
asking
themselves.
a lot.
It is impossible
sure?
to like
Maybe we should start
reach
this one.
success and to not have started
damn.
someone that's cringe.
damn.
You have no idea
Never
how many people are afraid of
We're gonna
really
continue with
taking that
Jupiter.
leap and trying something creative, something that they're passionate about because they're worried about being cringe or being made fun of. We all get the cringe thing, especially at the beginning, until we have, you know, a few 100,000 people watching our channel every month. You see what I'm saying? He meant it as a joke. He laughed, but I was already so cranky that I told him to leave. He looked at me puzzled and said he was kidding, but I kicked him out. English is not my native language. I started learning English when I was 9 years old because there was no one to write or read fan fictions of a particular fandom I was into in my native language. English is also not your first language, and you're a writer. Props to you. I think you're cool. Because of it, I discovered how much I love writing. Because of it, I learned English and it saved my life when I needed a job but was inexperienced at a lot of things. But man, I could speak and write English fluently, and all thanks to writing fan fiction. It means a lot to me, and I'm not hurt that most people think it's silly and make fun of fan fiction writers. I'm hurt because the boy I love is being horrible about it, and I'm this close to breaking up. I don't deserve to be mocked for something I like, especially when I don't judge him with the stuff he likes. This is exactly what people are afraid of, right? Like, they're afraid of like putting themselves out there, being creative and trying new things because they're afraid of like how other people will react. There's a reason why you publish under a pseudonym. There's a reason why you didn't tell him. It's exactly this type of thing that makes you like afraid to do it. And you certainly don't want this fear to become a reality, especially not with someone that like you're dating that's supposed to love you and support you. I don't love this. He wants me to come over but doesn't think he's wrong and doesn't see how his behavior is hurting me. What do I do? I learned a long time ago not to be ashamed of doing something that brings me joy, especially when times are hard enough already. But it hurts so much that my boyfriend thinks I'm a loser and I don't know what to do, and I'm starting to see him differently. I don't blame you. As someone who puts herself out there quite a bit, I can't even tell you how many times I've tried to like have fun, do something that I really enjoy, and people have just told me to stop. It hurts at the end of the day. But those are like faceless people on the internet. You know what I mean? Those are people that like, they expect to see something from me and they don't see it. You know, they don't like change or whatever. But like, I can't even imagine dating someone like that.
Take an order or something.
I genuinely feel like you guys
what the hell?
It could be all in good fun. I get
Did
why
you die?
you're mad, but you need to explain to him exactly why.
I'm not
you
playing
find
this
it
by
so
my
hurtful.
fucking self.
And if
Did
he
you
still
die?
continues to do it or doesn't apologize for it,
Did you
then
die?
I would consider maybe that this relationship isn't the best for you. The joke is old. No one's laughing except you at me. If you want to have a girlfriend much longer, you'll stop. Any excuses or explanations can be met with either I don't care, just stop, or please drop it, or that's it, we're done. I agree, this is not okay. He seems insecure about it. That's his problem. I hope you feel better. Why does that affect him at all? I want to answer everyone, and I'll try, but to clear things up, I don't think my boyfriend was snooping. I always clear my history out of habit, and this time I left it there. It most likely came up in the search bar since he told me he just found it there. The problem here is not my sense of humor. It's the fact that when I told him I write
Cheeseburger, no
fics
ketchup.
and came clean about it, I was laughing with him. Then the mockery started, and for the next few days, I was a crazed
Sparkling
fangirl in his
water.
eyes, and he wouldn't let it go. That is not having a sense of humor. That's someone I love being hurtful toward me on purpose, even though I told him to knock it off. I genuinely find that the people that criticize you for trying something are not brave enough to try it themselves. They come at it from like, I'm not supposed to do this, so neither can you. You're not the only one. If he's not going to be supportive, I just genuinely feel like you can find someone who not only be supportive, but also have the same passions as you. We are currently not talking. He thinks I'm being oversensitive, and I'm here reading your replies. I haven't let him come to my house yet until I think of something to tell him. I already have something in my head thanks to you guys. This is the first time I see my boyfriend acting this way. I wouldn't be with him if he had been like this since the beginning. This is the first time, and it's probably why I'm so shocked here. I'm hurt. A joke or two, fine. Straight up mean mockery, no. I don't know if he got jealous. I don't know if the content or the stories bothered him. I don't know. I plan on finding out. We do. He and I have teased each other before. I tease my best friend, she teases me back. Stupid, trash teasing. I still have some of my earliest fics in English, and my grammar was awful, really awful, with sentences like, and he tried to think not about her. Tried is spelled with a Y. She throws that sentence back at me all the time, and it's always in good heart, and always in a, oh God, look at the crap you used to write, and look at you now. This is not what happened with my significant other and I. He went out of his way to make me feel uncomfortable and hurt. This is why I came here for help, because someone I love was being cruel out of nowhere. Maybe he's like afraid that you'll get so big and like leave him. Either way, it's toxic and you don't need that. And so, for the sake of this update, I need you guys to keep in mind I'm in no way ashamed of writing fics, and that my significant other's behavior was more than strange and cruel. He's never acted that way before. So, I met him the day after so we could talk. He was pissed because I kicked him out. I was pissed because of his behavior. I went home and I straight up asked
Enjoy your
why
meal,
my fics
bitch!
bothered him so much.
Enjoy
He kept
your
saying
meal
it
too,
didn't,
bitch!
That he was just having fun and all, and I explained to him how it made me feel. He snorted. Oh, not the snorting. I told him if he
There
wasn't
you
going to take
go.
this seriously, then he could leave and not come back.
Ooh,
After a while,
Jupiter
in a brief
burgers,
discussion about him
hey?
being incredulous, that I was so upset over nothing, he finally told me the real reason
Sparkling
behind his
water.
actions. That he doesn't feel comfortable with me writing spicy scenes.
French fries.
Why?
French fries.
This came out of nowhere, and even when the issue was discussed here, I was like, nah, he would never have a problem with that. He even praised the one in my book. Well, I asked him directly that. Why did he praise the one in my book? Why did he encourage me to write more of it? He said he hadn't stopped to think about the consequences, that when I wrote it in my book, he didn't know or see how many people enjoyed it. When he read the ones in my blog, he could see how many people reblogged it. He could see the comments. He could see everything, and it bothered him because I was his girlfriend. Come on, man. It's her art. This is how she wants to express herself. She's not out here cheating. She's just writing about it and using her imagination. He's policing her imagination now? Get out of here. I asked him what he meant by that. He said I was putting myself out there by writing this stuff. She's writing under a pseudonym, at least the stuff on her blog. I held back the urge to snap calmly and asked him again what he meant by that. He said he knew how guys think and that they were seeing how easy I was, and I'd soon be getting stalkers because I, quote, I like spicy like a sleuth. Isn't that lovely? Oh no, he gotta go. That is so weird. No, he's saying that because he thinks like that. Okay, so like, is every person that's ever written like a movie or TV show or book that has a spicy scene in it, does that make them like does he enjoy stuff like that? Someone has to write that stuff. Weird. Give me a break. He quickly tried to fix it to tell me he didn't mean it like that. He meant that I write detailed and explicit scenes and that it might give people the wrong idea. I asked if I give him the wrong idea when we have spicy time, and he just shut up. I think he realized then how much of an idiot he was because he started apologizing. It's giving controlling. It's giving I don't want my woman to work. It's giving I don't want my woman to have an imagination. It's giving
I already
slut
did all those
shaming,
ones from
and
my
it's
order.
also giving someone who's
Did you have a bunch for
low-key
your
a little
order?
bit jealous, I think. And being jealous for a really silly reason. I ended it. I ended it and changed my blog's URL. He's been calling and calling and calling, texting me nonstop that he's sorry, but I can't look at him the same way. Why are you changing your blog's URL? So that he can't read it? Ugh, let him read it. Who cares? I have a feeling with an imagination like you have, you're gonna get like really, really, really big. And I need
No
to take
mustard,
this advice
add
myself.
pickle,
You should
lettuce,
never
and
be
tomato.
ashamed
Okay.
of the stuff that you put out there. Most people are too afraid to put their creative stuff out there, and it's the people that are brave enough to do it that end up being successful. That is literally the only difference between someone who is a successful artist and someone who wants to be. The successful artist is brave enough to put themselves out there over and over and over again, knowing that what they put out might not be received well, knowing that they might be cringe, knowing that they might upset people or whatever. It takes bravery to keep showing up consistently. Even if I ever forgive him, just know I like spicy time, so that makes me but that's not a problem when I am spicy with him. I'm heartbroken over this because I don't know, this came out of nowhere. Before breaking up, he said everything would be okay if I just never wrote about spicy time. What? I mean, really? No, I like it.
You're
I like
pathetic,
writing about
tiny
it. I like
weenie.
writing fics. I like it. It pays my bills, so screw that. But in his mind, if I just stopped writing the spicy scenes, then he wouldn't feel insecure and wouldn't lash out like this. No, no, no. Let's not make ourselves accommodate people with small minds. I'm glad it came out though.
Small
this
lots
side
of
him,
things, it
Still,
sounds
it's just
like.
so freaking sad.
Mhm.
You will find someone, if you care about finding someone else, who
Bye, Robit.
really loves
Enjoy
this
your
about you
delivery.
and loves your mind and your imagination.
Oh my God,
Here's the
there's
thing
so
about
many
playful
robots.
teasing. It only works when the other
Okay.
party's into it. If they don't like it and you tease anyway, you're not being affectionate, you are bullying. It's always interesting when the people that tease can dish it, but they can't take it. It would be interesting to start teasing him for like what he does. You're broken up, so it doesn't really matter. If you get to a point where it's like, okay, that's enough, and they keep doing it, that is like unwanted, okay? Like they know that you don't like it and they continue to do it. That is bullying. Am I the a-hole for very rarely or almost never wanting to go to restaurants because my girlfriend makes food that's just as good, if not better, than restaurant food? So are we saying we like don't want to take our girlfriend out to like dinner because she can just make it and slave away in the kitchen? I've been with my wonderful girlfriend for a few years now, and we usually get along great, aside from this current issue. She's a self-proclaimed foodie, which I honestly think is just selling herself short. She's a food genius. She can taste and smell a dish and then turn around and recreate it, or even make it better than the original. Wow. If you taste something and wonder, what's that super subtle flavor? She'll tell you. It's anchovy paste, sumac, lavender, or some other obscure spice that you never would think of. When someone is cooking something and they go, it's missing something, she can tell you exactly what it needs. It doesn't stop there. She knew I had touched a diesel truck at work one morning as soon as I walked into the house that night because she could somehow smell it on me. It's either really cool or really creepy, depending on the day. That's not it either. She heard about a lost family recipe and the next week, bam, I'm eating my grandmother's homemade sausage again for the first time in 15 years. It's gotten to the point where I don't see the point of going out to eat pretty much ever, except maybe her birthday. Even the most exotic ingredients aren't out of her reach either. Even though it's not about cost, I've saved up more being with her than I ever had in any other relationship. The only places we really go for date night is ramen. She can't figure out how to make the noodles, but she still tries. So it's just a matter of time, and sushi. I feel like I know where this is going, but like also, just because you can make food that's really good, the fact she knows exactly the ingredients, everything that you described, she
in the
is
corner
a
makes you
food
sad?
genius. She is. Wouldn't that also mean that she would appreciate a food genius too? I can understand not wanting to go
Oh,
to like a
sexy time
run-of-the-mill
stories.
pub, bar, restaurant type thing. There's plenty of really, really good restaurants out there that offer really special experiences that I'm sure she would appreciate. Our anniversary
Hey, are
was
these your
recently, and
potato
I noticed
wedges,
that our
lady?
local fish
Nah,
counter was
they're
selling
not.
sushi grade
Mine
fish,
now.
along with rolling mats and nori. So I suggested we have homemade sushi for our anniversary dinner that she has to make before going out, and she's upset and said,
I'm not learning how to make sushi because then I'll never get a real date ever again.
we ended up going out instead. Because you're telling her that she needs to work. I understand it's fun for her. I understand that she enjoys it. Food and like being a foodie is not just like, oh, it's good, let's just like go grab something quick to eat. There's like an experience that comes with being a foodie. Taking her to like a Michelin star restaurant, taking her to a new avant-garde restaurant that's in your city or something. The experiences that come with being like really, really into food, just because she can make it doesn't mean she wouldn't really this is an opportunity here, dude, for you to take her somewhere really special because of the culinary experience. It's something she would really appreciate, even though she could probably make it for herself. You even said money's not an issue for you. You seem to be saving a lot of money. Don't you feel like you could take her somewhere super, super special because of how much she's given you? It kind of took me by surprise that she got so mad. She lightly mentioned wanting to go out occasionally to places like Olive Garden because she likes the red sauce, or other places because she likes the food. And now I'm thinking about it, she's gotten kind of gloomy because I've asked her to cook on date nights instead of going out more often. Yeah, totally. I can see why. At the end of the day, it's like not everybody feels like cooking all the time. I'm also curious if you clean up too. Like, does she clean too? It's a lot of work to cook every night, and also to feel you're giving and giving and giving and not really getting a lot in return. She also brought up that food she cooks tastes better to me because she's tasting it and smelling it while it cooks, so her senses are dulled by the time it's served. But she has the most acute sense of smell and taste I've ever seen, so I think that's kind of just an excuse. I also think that's a bit of an excuse. I understand, kind of. Yeah, I feel like she's just trying to convince you to take her out. She wants you to take her out. I just don't think it's worth it to go out and pay restaurant food prices when we can stay home for home food prices and have food that's just as excellent. Okay, but the difference is that she's the one that has to do it. She's the one that has to go shopping, buy everything, prepare everything. Like, sometimes really, really extravagant meals take all day. So Reddit, am I the a-hole for not wanting to pay a restaurant to cook
you're
my
the
meals?
a-hole.
Because I practically have a private chef of my very own.
She does not.
You're being an a-hole.
Sure.
Your girlfriend does all this nice stuff for you. She's cooking you all these amazing meals, and all she wants is for you to take her. She's not even asking a lot. She's like, take me to Olive Garden. Dude, come on. The bar is in hell. Do something nice for her. One of my best friends, she's an incredible chef. Incredible, incredible chef. But that doesn't mean that she just wants to slave away in the kitchen all the time. She's also a foodie. She loves going out. She loves taking clients out for dinner to like experience the theatrics of like the really vibrant food scene that's in Toronto. I bet you anything, you have an opportunity here to really go out of your way.
Hey, make your own
pick, like,
fucking
a
burgers,
really
you
epic
cunt.
restaurant
These are
and take her
mine.
there. She's done a lot for you. You've saved up some
God
money.
damn it.
Take her for a nice dinner.
Fucking
Nobody
bitches
wants
these
to
days.
just slave away in the kitchen all the time,
taking
especially
all
for
these
someone that
drinks.
doesn't even want to take them out for a meal. Like, edit. It's not about the financial aspect of staying home versus going out. I just thought that it was worth mentioning because it's been more of a saving than expected. All the more reason to take her out to a nice place. Edit 2, I'm taking her out to grovel, guys. I'm also going to politely ask that if she finds this off of Twitter, please don't smother me in my sleep for being such a... Edit 3, no Twitter, I don't buy her flowers. Thanks for rubbing it in. I buy her herbs and succulents. What flowers do I buy a woman who likes to preserve them afterward? Also, yes, I wash the dishes. Okay, good. Good lord, completely, you're the a-hole. Read the last line, dude. You said you have your own private chef. Do you think your wife wants to cook every single night for you? No. She makes sacrifices of her time every time she
now
cooks for
3
you,
of
which
these.
sounds like a lot. So why can't you sacrifice some of your time to take her out and possibly show her thanks for the things she's done for you? Jeez, man, you're being thick. Maybe that's why she got upset at the thought of never being taken out for dinner again. And I feel like you should bring this up with her directly if it's upsetting you. Maybe tell her you love her cooking more than any restaurant food and she'll love the sentiment and want to cook more. Or maybe she'll say she needs a break from cooking sometimes. Just talk to her. It's also the like, she's cooking and you're not thing. Like this is a huge passion of hers and like it just kind of sounds like you're kind of just sitting around while she's cooking for you. Why don't you show that you're interested in it and not just interested in eating it by like getting involved? So it's not just her. So this could be something that you both learn and you're both passionate about, not just something that you benefit from. Or maybe go further than just telling her you love her food and show it. Get another old family recipe from your grandparents, buy the ingredients, and tell her you want to learn how to make it. When you say she knows exactly what the recipe's missing, ask what flavor profile she's detecting. Get involved. You'll still save money. Groceries are cheaper than restaurants, but you have to contribute to both the creation and the cleanup of the meal. Otherwise, she will feel like a private chef instead of a girlfriend. That's it. There it is. And take her to Olive Garden once in a while. Seriously, what the... It's inexpensive, and who doesn't love breadsticks? Even better if you make it a project with her to try and duplicate some of their dishes at home. The bare minimum is she wants to be taken out to dinner. She's fine with Olive Garden or whatever. I'm not sure really where you live, but like the next time you like plan a vacation with your girlfriend, you know, if you don't have any Michelin star restaurants in your city, plan somewhere and take her somewhere like New York and get her into like a really cool culinary experience. Not all of them are super, super expensive. Like they're on the pricier side. You've been saving money having this woman cook for you. I think that she would really enjoy something like that. I went to this Michelin star restaurant once and I had literally a lobster cappuccino. It was the weirdest experience, but it like the theatrics of it and like it came in a cup. It was basically like a lobster soup in the form of like a cappuccino. The foam on the cappuccino was squid ink. And that might sound disgusting for you, but it was delicious. And I would never think of lobster soup being in a cappuccino form. It's fun to like experience.
Goddamn, that
food in
took forever.
way. And I think she deserves it. You're the a-hole. You don't have a private chef. You have a girlfriend who I assume is doing all the work on the grocery shopping, meal planning, cooking front while you reap the benefits. I seriously
Oh,
hope you
so
were the
many
one helping
fucking
to clean up the
robot
kitchen
deliveries.
after dinner
God!
every week. I also hope since she's doing all of that work, you've picked up the slack in other areas of housework. She wants a night off for date night. That's not unreasonable. I agree. And not just date night, her anniversary. You're the a-hole to the point where I'm getting mad reading this. No offense. No, it actually is a little upsetting. Put yourself in her shoes. You want to relax and spend some time with your partner. Little to no stress involved. But she insists that you spend what I imagine to be at least 1 hour or more of prep every time you have a date. And I assume when you're not having a date too. She's not your personal chef, and I feel insulted on her behalf that you're thinking of her like that. She likes cooking. Cool. She doesn't live to cook for you. She clearly has suggested going out multiple times and therefore has voiced her desires to not do home dates when she has put in her time and labor. You're 100% the asshole. I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry. I'm still mad 3 hours after seeing this. You're lucky she hasn't broken up with you for being this selfish. It sounds like you got it really, really, really good, man. There is a reason why they say, you know, the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. You have a 5-star chef at home. She does a lot for you. She's wife material. She's not expecting a lot. In my opinion, a little more than Olive Garden. But that's all she expects. I think that you should go like above and beyond for this person and do like a really cool culinary experience for her. And again, this guy has saved a lot of money after having his girlfriend do all of this for him. So he can afford it. I think it would be a really nice thing to do, something that she would really appreciate. Maybe if you take her to a really amazing Michelin star restaurant, she'll be so inspired and want to make it at home. Win-win. So we do have an update. Okay, guys, this will probably be my last edit. The post exploded unexpectedly.
Hey, that's mine!
I've tried to respond to as many comments as I can.
Filthy
There's just
bitch!
Too many of you. If you ask me a direct question and I haven't answered, I'm sorry, my inbox is a mess. I really took everything you guys have said to heart, and I can honestly say I have been and it really hurt my relationship with my girlfriend. It's honestly a surprise that she's still my girlfriend after everything. I'm really happy to read this a lot. So her mom picked up the girls and I took her out to a really nice tapas restaurant. She was very excited and seemed to enjoy herself, and I apologize for being stupid. Oh, that makes me so happy. Good for you. After we took a walk and everything seemed perfect, I asked her to marry me. Ah! That's what I'm saying! She's wifey material, my guy! Oh. Wait. Oh. She said no.
Oops.
She did it kindly, but she still said no. She said it wasn't a no forever, but she didn't want to commit to a one-sided relationship, and also said she doesn't think it's fair that our relationship happens on my schedule or my terms. You kind of did this sort of hurtful thing to her. This is the only time that you've kind of gone out of your way to plan something special, and then right after that, you proposed to her. I could see in that position, she's probably like a little bit, it's not the best time. It doesn't surprise me that you want to marry her. I think that if you do want to marry her, you have to show consistent effort. Consistent. And not because she's sad, because you want to. I'm pretty heartbroken. I thought everything was pretty okay between us, but she thinks we should go to pre-marital, pre-engagement counseling, and the division of labor needs to change over a serious sit-down conversation. So Reddit, you were all right. I'm the a-hole who almost lost the love of my life, and most of you were right. It wasn't over restaurants. I mean, I was excited for you. It doesn't surprise me that you wanted to wife her up, but I don't blame her. I think that she knows she deserves better than what you've been giving her. Hope you guys work it out. We do have one more update. After I posted and proposed and was rejected, things got pretty awkward between us for the first time in 5 years. She started to get snappy at me easily. She stopped being as affectionate to me. She started making pretty much nothing but casserole. Everything changed. To clarify, she usually liked to make more involved food than casserole. Then one day, like 3 weeks ago, she threw down the spoon she was using to serve the 1000th casserole this month and snapped at me.
Do you seriously think that I actually like eating at Olive Garden?
Guys, she saw the post. She was furious. She doesn't like Olive Garden. She'll eat there because the kids love it and it's cheap. I was right about the red sauce being non-acidic, but well, in her words, she's never developed a taste for pasta. She's Latino. Do I ever see her make pasta? No. A meal isn't complete without rice. You don't know me at all. She yelled about Olive Garden for a solid 20 minutes. It wasn't just about Olive Garden. It was a lot about Olive Garden. Long story short, we've been separated for a few weeks now, and it's not looking good. She loves and respects me, but feels it's best for her to respectfully disengage from me for her own personal betterment. So yeah, I ruined my family by not appreciating my girlfriend. I didn't take her out on dates, and I didn't pay enough attention. I would do anything to fix everything. I'm sorry, I really am. I think that the anniversary thing was back. Like, I think that she had been feeling this way for a while. I really don't blame her at all. Sorry. Like, not in the slightest. Nobody wants to feel like they're a maid or a private chef, which is literally what you described her as. Maybe next relationship come around, you could do nice things for your partner sometimes. Hate to say it, but this is a learning experience, right? Don't let it get to the point where she questions whether or not you appreciate her. She should have no doubt in her mind that you appreciate her. So yes, unfortunately, you kind of are the a-hole.
All right, back to the previous episode.
Refuses to attend our wedding unless mother-in-law refuses to attend our wedding unless the original title of this story is my female 24 fiance's male 27 mom refuses to attend our wedding unless it meets her standards. Is this a battle worth fighting? meets her standards. Okay. I am planning a wedding with my fiance. We've been in a long distance relationship for 2 years and are planning to get married next year. My parents are supportive, but his mom is not. It's not because she dislikes me, but because she's afraid the wedding won't be grand enough and that she'll be embarrassed. So is she putting money toward this like grand wedding that she wants so bad, or she just expects you guys to pay for it? She wants a big wedding and insists on inviting important people from our office, which isn't what my fiance and I want, especially since we're still in junior positions. She told us to postpone the wedding until we're 30 and can afford something more extravagant. So let me guess, that means she wants you to pay for it. If we still can't do it by then, she wants us to get married abroad to avoid embarrassment on her part. How grand are we talking here? Does she want a royal wedding? My fiance has explained our plans and expressed how much he wishes she could be more understanding. But this has been a reoccurring pattern in his family. His mother often acts as if the world revolves around her. She doesn't take no for an answer. Now she's saying she won't come, and neither will her side of the family if we move forward with our current plan. Sorry, is this like a bad thing? I have lots of thoughts. You can actually have a pretty grand looking wedding for much, much less if you do it abroad. Just saying. I think that's a major factor as to why we did our wedding abroad. It is so expensive to get married in the city I live, in Toronto. It is like, actually insane. I know very few people that actually got married in Toronto. Everyone always goes outside of the city, and at that point, it is a destination wedding. You would be surprised to know how little we spent on our wedding because it was abroad. I think it goes without saying that like this is a really silly thing to get hung up on. She's kind of making the wedding about her when it's not. Ugh. What does you having an extravagant wedding have to do with making her seem better?
I'm making soup.
Especially if she's not the one that's like putting money toward it either.
This doesn't make a lick of sense.
My fiance, my family, and I are all okay with moving forward, but deep down, we both want her there. We've done everything we could to involve her, but she insists it had to be done her way. For those who are just listening, I just gave the side-eye cam a quick little glance.
The following program is available with described video.
I find that hard to accept, especially since we're the ones paying for the wedding. Literally. If it's so important to her, granted, just so you know, if she does put money towards it, you're kind of like stuck doing whatever she wants. The fact that you guys are the ones spending the money because she wants to keep up appearances, if it was that important to her, why is she not helping? We've even suggested therapy, but she refused. Now she says this whole situation is stressing her out and she's losing sleep over it. For context, I live in Southeast Asia where weddings are usually family-centered, but in our religion, the groom's parents are not required to be present. Interesting. I don't want my fiance to feel like he has to choose between me and his family. I've tried hard to earn his parents' approval and they have no issue with me as a person. It's just the wedding that doesn't meet his mom's expectations. This is a very silly hill to die on. My fiance is a wonderful man and wants to marry me with or without his mom's blessing, but I keep wondering, is this a battle I should keep fighting, or is this something I need to let go of? I don't know, I feel like this is just a way for her to exercise some form of control when she really doesn't have any at the end of the day. When you're putting money toward a wedding, I feel like that does kind of buy you the right to make some decisions. That's the thing about accepting money from your parents and from your in-laws. When they want certain things, or they want to invite certain people, if they've put money toward your wedding, at least in my view, I feel like it's fair if you, and granted, I get it, it should be, you know, a gift and that should be it, but I still feel, and I did let my parents and my in-laws make some decisions with regards to the wedding. But she's not even pitching towards it. At this point, honestly, I would just say, like, listen, we can't afford the wedding that you want. We don't regard a large wedding as an indication of how much we love each other. It's not important to us. We would love it if you came. We genuinely want you to be there. If you don't want to be there because you're embarrassed, then that's your prerogative. Some people really just don't want to go bankrupt getting married, and that is your prerogative. It was important to me to have a big wedding. It was important to Mike's family, so that's why I did it. But I completely understand that that's not everybody's cup of tea. Certainly, if you don't have the money, then where does she expect this money to come from if not from her? Yeah, some people in the comments are saying, like, just have her be the one that explains why she wasn't at the wedding. Like, maybe she'll find a different reason.
You
different
stole my
excuse.
hash
But, like,
brown,
it's not a very
bitch!
becoming thing. If relatives ask why she wasn't there, is she really gonna say,
Oh yeah, I didn't go because it wasn't expensive enough.
if it's really about appearances the way that she says it is, maybe she should be aware of how that's gonna look.
Okay.
Because that's a little more embarrassing than having a wedding
Cheeseburger.
that's on a budget. OP, give that B word what she wants. Organize the event, get the final costs, and give the pretentious B word the total cost for her to pay. Send her a nice little invoice. If she's not gonna do that, tell her to F off. Yeah, no, I totally agree. I don't think that
mayonnaise.
anybody should be making these kinds of demands if they're not
Tomato.
putting money toward the outcome. So we do have an update.
Done.
After a few days, she reached out to me
Asteroid is
personally. She said she didn't approve of the wedding because she felt my fiance wasn't financially stable enough yet. For context, we're both financially independent and covering all our wedding costs ourselves. I replied politely, saying, I'm sorry
extra
she felt that
tomatoes.
way.
I'm sorry you feel that way.
I love that. I love saying that in an argument that's like literally the dumbest thing ever. Not in an argument where, you know, it matters what you say.
This is my playtest.
But I assured her I'm not a financial burden to her son since I want to have my career and all. I also said we are both pursuing our goals and there's no reason to wait to get married. Apparently that set her off really badly.
Did I hit a nerve?
She called my fiance for 3 hours, hysterically yelling about how disrespectful it was for me to reply with a long message. When he got home, she continued yelling and even called me names. She made his brother sit there and watch everything. No one defended him. Yeah, she switched tactics now. This went on for several days. Every time he came home, she'd start yelling again for hours. It reached a point where my fiance packed up all his things to move out. But before he could leave, his mom found out, trashed all his belongings, literally ripped his luggage in two, and called him horrible names. It didn't stop there. She attacked him and made the entire family watch.
It's insane. She's insane.
Me no likey. Her way or the highway, I get it. At least you have witnesses. I still can't process how fast everything escalated. It happened so suddenly and so brutally that I took a 24-hour flight the next day and went straight home, completely shaken. I know he needed me that time, and not being able to do anything
not hot
if
enough.
I'm far would have killed me. Now he hasn't gone home since, and we've decided to elope next year. I still can't believe this all started because she wanted a prestigious wedding. It is heartbreaking to see how far it went, but at least we're standing together. Please wish us luck and peace as we move forward. Weddings do be making people crazy. It's interesting how shallow she was and how hung up on appearances she was for an event that didn't even really concern her. She's important, she's an important part of the event, but it's not her event. This is a woman who can't let go of her son and must micromanage everything. See, this is why I said it was like probably more about control than anything else. The wedding is just the beginning.
No, you
Without
ain't.
boundaries,
There was
she will
ketchup.
never stop. I definitely agree, but arguably I feel like there has to be a little bit more than boundaries here. Like I feel like this woman, I don't know if I want to be around this person anymore. She sounds
Give her
kind
her
of
onion
scary.
rings.
I'm really sorry that that happened to you. It's super unfortunate.
Here's her water.
Nobody wants to exclude, you know, their in-laws
butt.
from their wedding. Nobody wants to exclude their own mother. At the end of the day, if people are being psychotic, they kind of give you no choice. Genuinely, I really do hope that you elope and that you have a wonderful time. You don't worry about what everybody else wants. And I genuinely hope she doesn't cause problems for you in the future. The best of luck to you. My mother-in-law demanded a special meal at our wedding. So I gave her a McDonald's Happy Meal. This was posted in the Charlotte Dobra YouTube subreddit. My mother-in-law, let's call her Karen, is a bit of a controlling, entitled biatch who adores attention. You know, the kind that always needs to be involved in everything, and when she's not, or when you don't pay attention to her, she throws a tantrum. Ooh. Yeah, I'm familiar. My father-in-law divorced her when my husband, let's call him Derek, was 10.
Smart man.
Derek and his mom were never close, but we still told her about our engagement, told her she would be invited to the wedding. Big mistake. When we told her this, she was super excited and called us crying, saying that she was excited to help us plan our big day and to finally be a part of Derek's life. I don't think that the two things go together. Just because you're invited doesn't mean you get to plan. I guess this was sweet, but we never wanted her to be involved in our wedding planning or anything like that. Anyways, during the wedding planning, she kept putting her nose into every single bit of the process. Like one day, she demanded me to send her a picture of me in my wedding dress as soon as I bought it, so she could wear something that matched the vibe to look her best next to me in pictures. When she found out what the wedding scheme was going to be, think whimsical fairy princess vibes with all my bridesmaids wearing light pink dresses and a flower crown, she said she didn't agree with the theme because she liked formal weddings better.
I don't remember asking you.
Cool. This is cool. She kept doing these things for months. She commented on every little detail like she was the bride trying to plan her own wedding. Honestly, it seemed like she was trying to plan a wedding for herself instead of just helping us out. I think it just goes back to mothers and mother-in-laws like wanting to be useful, but I definitely think that there is truth in that they're trying to live vicariously through your wedding planning. The breaking point came when she texted me demanding a special menu for her because she was
an important guest.
She's not the Queen of England. I asked her what she meant, and she said she didn't think the menu that was being served for everyone else was good enough for her. Okay, this isn't like a restaurant. We can't just like order whatever we want. So she thinks she deserves a better meal than the bride and groom. By the way, we were having a big wedding with around 200 guests and have a large variety of food to fit all dietary restrictions. Then what the hell did she want? After that, the stress of having Karen trying to control everything was really getting to me. So I decided to talk to my best friend and maid of honor, let's call her Megan, about it. We've been best friends since we were 12 and she's always been there for me and vice versa. Megan is super fun and a petty queen. We like Megan. She said that since Karen wanted something special and different from everyone else, we should give her a happy meal. And hopefully, this will make her happy. She said since she was trying to act like such a kid, trying to get all the attention, it would be perfect for her. I see where her head is at. Does she get a toy too? So fast forward to the wedding day. The wedding was absolutely beautiful in every way and everything went perfectly. When dinner came, all the guests came to the buffet to get their food. However, I had told Karen the chef would deliver her meal to her table.
I hope you're hungry. For nothing.
Oh, I bet she loved that. I bet she was like, Let's just say that when Karen saw the meal, her face went through like 10 different emotions. Then she asked the chef,
is this supposed to be a joke?
Ronald, the Happy Meal isn't happy yet. Gucci, Gucci, go.
The chef told her she requested a special meal and asked if there was a problem. After some arguing between Karen and the chef, she finally started eating her happy meal. Wait, she actually ate it? Oh my god. I watched her munch on her cheeseburger, fries, and apple sauces from my table.
I love a good Happy Meal.
I can't believe she actually ate it. I could tell other people at her table were trying very hard not to laugh. And I'm not gonna lie, so was I. She seemed so annoyed. I'm just like curious what she meant about like wanting a better meal than everyone else. She had no like suggestions for that. She's
no, I want something better.
Make it make sense. After all that, I enjoyed my wedding, which was fun and wonderful. Definitely the best night of my life. I'm so happy to hear. Also, can you guys tell me if I was too harsh, please? Thank you. Love you, Charlotte. I think that you did it in like a very fun and like lighthearted way. I'm curious to know what the aftermath will be. I'm surprised that she ate the Happy Meal, like, and didn't cause like a scene. It's kind of hard to like not eat a Happy Meal, you know? Not at all harsh, but what was the toy included in the Happy Meal? Oh, hope you responded. It was a BTS figure. Oh my god, cute! I didn't keep it, but I found a picture. Her reaction when she saw the toy and the meal was so priceless. Everybody's kind of wondering like what happened, if the mother-in-law was like mad about the Happy Meal. And OP did update. I don't think my mother-in-law really cared because she called my husband and I after our honeymoon, congratulating us. She didn't mention the Happy Meal incident or anything. Maybe she was too embarrassed or actually felt sorry for what she did. Possibly. For those of you saying that this is fake or AI, I did write a draft and pass it through Grammarly since English is not my first language. I promise you this happened. I know it sounds fake. I still can't believe we did this. Just so you know, you guys, we do have mods on the subreddit now. I know you guys have been complaining about the AI posts. It was just me and Vanessa kind of handling it. It was a little bit of a free-for-all, but we do have mods now. They have instructions on how to spot an AI post. There's so many ways to tell that something is an AI. Spelling errors errors being one. AI doesn't make spelling errors. Just so you know, we have someone handling this, a team of people. Sometimes it's difficult to tell if something is fake. It's hard to know, but in terms of AI, they have instructions on how to tell if something's AI or not. And this one, I can confirm, is not. I actually really like this petty revenge because it, like, in a way, de-escalated the situation, made light of it. It was just a little
Holy
cheeky,
ball
you know?
sack.
Like, she ate it. She had a good time.
Gucci, Gucci, goo.
I know you feel like the a-hole, but like at the end of the day, it's like she was also being an a-hole. Maybe she kind of needed a little kick in the pants. I would argue that a Happy Meal is like a reward on honestly. I would get a Happy Meal when I was like a good kid, not necessarily a bad kid, but I digress. I think it was an appropriate punishment. We got some more in-law wedding drama for you. Am I the a-hole for having spicy time with my sister-in-law on the wedding night?
What?
Her wedding night or yours? Hey Reddit, I was the best man for my brother's wedding. The maid of honor was his bride's sister. I am 24, while the sister, Katie, was 20, female. We really hit it off right away. We studied the same subject in school, she's witty and funny, and we got along really well. Day of the wedding, my brother and dad pull me aside and give me strict orders not to talk or initiate anything with Katie. I said that would be hard as we were literally walking up the aisle together. He said that was fine, but other than that, no contact.
No touching! No touching! No touching! No touching!
He then turned to me and said, "This is my day. I can tell you like her, by the way. Stop being so selfish, bro, and be a good brother for once in your life." This shocked me, as we had a good relationship, but I get he was stressed. What about you getting along with his sister-in-law is like bad? I fail to see how that affects him in any way. Unless things end badly, but that's kind of like your problem, not his. Wedding was going well, and I obeyed him for the first part of the day. She wanted to dance, but I said no. She looked hurt and confronted me when I was getting a drink. She said, "We were having so much
Add
fun
bell
before the day of the
pepper.
wedding. What changed? I really like you, and I want to get to know you better. Do you feel the same way?" I said yes, and apologized, and we danced. My dad forcibly tried to pull me off the dance floor, but I ignored him. Why is everybody kind of coming between you and this person? Like,
no one
seems a bit weird. I got a text from my brother during the party that I was not to talk with her. I replied, "Dude, WTF, I get it's your day, but what is the deal?" We ended up making out after my brother left with his bride to the hotel. Sounds like you were just kind of having like a good time. What is the issue, dude? We went back to the hotel holding hands and laughing, and we finally kissed. Well, we got down and dirty in my room, and I got her number, and we are going to have a real first date this week. Sounds great. I fail to see how this affects your brother and father in any way. The only thing is, like, if you guys end on bad terms, it might make family situations awkward, but like, that's not really their problem. Like, it's gonna be awkward for you. What is their issue with you? I got a text from my brother later that day that his new wife told him what happened, and he was extremely angry and couldn't believe I was so selfish. My dad threw a fit when he found out and said he won't pay for my wedding when it happened. I told him I don't care because I have a good job now. I feel bad though. Did I ruin the day for my brother? Am I the a-hole?
No.
I fail to understand how you could have ruined his day. It's not like you were making a fool of yourself. You were just dancing and having a good time. If there's any place to meet someone, it's a wedding. I understand she's your sister-in-law, but like, not blood, right? It's strange that your family is so fixated on you with this person. I don't really get why. Not the a-hole who you have spicy time with is not your brother or your dad's business. It doesn't affect them in any way. You're both consenting adults, so it's not a big deal. They're just overreacting. I fail to understand how they could have let something like this ruin their day. I know with my wedding, I purposefully put all the singles together because I was hoping that they would, like, I don't know, have a nice time. We're in Italy and like love is in the air. I was really hoping that like something good
Here's your Starburger bit.
Hey, that's what she said.
Why are we micromanaging who our friends and family
There's your
get
Starburger
along
bits.
with? To be fair, him dating Katie would affect the brother. It could put him and his wife in a difficult spot. Not saying that OP shouldn't do it, just that it could affect the brother. If they end badly, it would be awkward. That's the luck of the draw, though. Like, they get along. Like, let them figure it out. It's none of their business. I really like this comment. This exact mentality is the reason why people escalate petty fights and end up not talking to each other.
That was
for
my
years.
butt.
You don't have to take any sides. Two adults can break up and still be civil to each other. Thinking that you can't socialize with someone just because you used to date or because your sister dated them is some middle school stuff. I totally agree. It might be a little awkward. You might have to separate the hangouts, I guess, if things end badly. But like, if two people are attracted to each other, it's inevitable at the end of the day. And I would argue that people coming in between you is just gonna make you want that person more. Just let it play out however it's gonna play out, and don't micromanage it. Everybody deserves to be happy. So some info might be needed. The only reason I could see the brother, wife, and dad getting mad is if younger brother is a player or something like that. Important to note. I also kind of had this thought, because it's like, why do they have such an issue with it unless there's like some sort of history there where OP is like a player and he like uses women or something, and like he's put them in a difficult position before. But like, that's the thing, is like, even when Mike and I started dating, there were still people that were like, oh, well, if you guys break up, like, I don't wanna, like, you know, don't bring me into it. And we didn't break up, so it's like, it was fine. But like, it's not like I had a history of like being a girlfriend, or he had a history of like being a boyfriend. We were both like relationship people, and we still had people tell us like, if you guys break up, like, I don't want to hear it. So yeah, let's take into account that there could be certain things that OP is leaving out. But at the end of the day, you can't force people to not date. You can't force people to do whatever you want. It's not like he did something that overtly drew attention away. He was just having a good time at the wedding, and it is what it is. If awkwardness happens, it happens. I'm gonna go with not the a-hole. This is good.
The truth is, not every child gets the chance to go to the movies. In North America alone, more than 20 million kids may never step inside a theater. But together, we can change that. I'm Phil Cunningham, creator of David. Our goal is to help 1 million kids.
Hi friends, how are you today? Listen, I know that I said that the Jonies might be the last Dark History episode, but I couldn't leave you guys hanging during the holiday season. So I wanted to bring you a little bonus episode. Yay! I posted a Dark History gift guide a few years ago, and you guys loved it. Now, if you didn't see that episode, I would say go watch it, but stay here too, because this one's great. But listen, in the episode, I suggested a few out-of-the-ordinary presents from our past Dark History episodes. Things like lipsticks, dildos, Rasputin's penis, Tyson chicken nuggets, mummy powder. Great gifts to give to people, right? You all agree. And to my surprise, many of you took my suggestions and, you know, gave them as gifts. So this year we thought we'd do it again, because shopping during the holidays can be a drag and it's hard to think of what kind of gift to give, right? Oh, Joan and Paul are so hard to shop for. They have everything they could ever want. Like, what do I give them? Well, if you're like me, here's a list of gifts from a collection of some of our favorite stories over the last season. Welcome to the Dark History Gift Guide.
Okay. Where'd my cheese balls? There's my cheese balls.
Hi friends, I hope you are having a wonderful day today. My name is Bailey Sarian, and I'd like to welcome you to my podcast, Dark History. Here we believe history does not have to be boring. It might be tragic, it sometimes is happy, but either way, it's our dark history. Before we get into it, don't forget to like and subscribe,
your
because
egg?
I'm always posting new content. And let me know what you think in the comment section down below, because I read comments at the end. And now let's get into it. And this might be the last episode, I don't know. So, holiday gifts, huh? What do you get people in your life? Well, a new parent in your life who's really into like vintage aesthetics and just wants to do things like the old-fashioned way. Maybe you have a friend who's like a trad wife wannabe, or I don't know, just like into vintage things, yeah. Might I suggest a baby cage? Yes. Oh, nothing says I love you like suspending your baby out a third-story window in a wire box. It really, like, you know, the fresh air and all that, it builds character. And it's vintage. Tell your friend it's vintage. The baby cage, it basically looks like just a dog cage. You know, the wired ones. It looks like that, but it has a cover on it and I guess like a little slanted roof. to protect babies from the elements. The cage has a little hook on it, so you can place it like right outside your apartment window. Yeah, like kind of like your plants. So you put your baby in the cage, you hang them outside, and they can get some fresh air while mom, of course, was inside cleaning the house. Now, you might think like this is absolutely insane. There's no way parents thought this was a good idea or safe, but people in the city loved these baby cages. Oh, when I saw pictures, I was like, get me one. I want one for myself. I want to hang outside, but I don't want like bugs and stuff on me. But I want to lay outside in my baby cage. I love them. I think they're great. Bring them back. Well, don't, but like it's an option. But people love the baby cages. So even the first lady, Eleanor Roosevelt, she used a baby cage. And I mean, if the first lady is using a baby cage, you know, people then are like, well, I'm gonna use one too. Newspapers across the country, they ran ads for baby cages, encouraging parents to like give their babies a chance to breathe in fresh air in their bird cages. By the 1940s, baby cages were less popular, but it wasn't because like babies were falling to death or like getting frostbite. It was because modern medicine and like vaccines were created, and TB was less of a problem. So baby cages just became a thing of the past. But I say bring them back. I think they're cool. Look at that baby. That baby's loving life outside in that cage. Nothing's happening. Protected. Birds can't attack that baby. No one can steal that baby. It's a great option. And if the baby's crying, you could bug your neighbors and everyone. I like it. Thank you for wondering what I thought. So yeah, it became a thing of the past. Goodbye, baby cages. The other day, I opened up my social media to reply to like just a few messages, and then next thing you knew, or I knew, hours had flown by. I know. What happened? That's gross. No, why? I legit like spent hours watching funny videos and a lot of dog videos too. I learned nothing, you know? But listen, enter Masterclass to save the day. With Masterclass, you can learn from the best. They've got over 200 classes, thousands of bite-sized lessons across 13 categories. Plans start at just $10 a month, billed annually. You know, instead of doom scrolling, I was like, let me like try and learn something new. So I got into James Douglas' class. It's about criminal profiling. I thought, let me see. I don't know. His career is the inspiration behind the movies like Silence of the Lambs. So I was like, I'm in. Tell me everything. And now I'm like, I'm joining the FBI. Okay. But the best part about Masterclass is that you can watch on your phone, laptop, TV. You can listen in audio mode if you want to. So like while I'm getting ready, I'll just listen instead, you know? So listen, if you're feeling stuck, stressed, or maybe like your brain could use something more than late night doom scrolling, Masterclass is that little spark. Okay? It's great. I use Masterclass. It's fun. There's so many lessons, and you should give it a try too. Masterclass always has great offers during the holidays, sometimes up to as much as 50% off. Head over to masterclass.com/darkhistory for the current offer. That's up to 50% off at masterclass.com/darkhistory. Masterclass.com/darkhistory. Now, we all have one of those friends who like has their perfumes, their fragrance, right? Maybe you have a friend that like you don't really like that much, like a frenemy maybe. They're a fragrance person and they have a signature scent.
You're missing patties there, dude.
I got the perfect gift to give to that person. Go with
You're missing patties!
Ambergris. It's a waxy clump of whale puke that allegedly smells very sexy, but it's very rare. And it's very illegal. But it'd be a great gift. Okay, so what is ambergris, Bailey? Well, ambergris is this waxy gunk that kept washing up on the beach, and no one really knew where it was coming from at first. But what they did know was that it had this really potent smell. So even though no one knew exactly what it was, this is where people get weird. They were buying it, they were mixing it with perfumes, they were spraying it on themselves. They were chopping it up and mixing it into their wine. It was sold in all kinds of forms, and it was very expensive. It was known as the treasure of the sea, and also floating gold.
Gaza's population is on the brink of famine.
Stupid sexy
Every
Floating gold. Apparently, King Louis XV used it to add spice to his food, and I guess give him a little after dinner dessert, maybe? This substance, called ambergris, it comes
Ambergris.
from the intestines of whales, specifically sperm whales, which actually kind of makes
That's like
sense. If
pronouncing
you're
the
looking
J
for an
in
aphrodisiac,
jalapeno.
something that's going to get you hot and heavy, I would go towards the whale that is specifically named sperm whale. So that connection makes sense to me. But here's what happens when a sperm whale swallows. Who named it the sperm whale? Really, when you think about it, you know what I'm saying? Because we all. Sperm whale? Like, what a lousy name. Okay. When a sperm whale swallows something sharp and hard to digest, usually like a squid beak. Squid beak. What's a squid? What's a squid? I know.
Like
This was new
cooler
news to me.
octopus.
Breaking news, everyone. Breaking news. Squids have beaks. Inside there somewhere, there's this hard, sharp piece. I'm not a fishologist. But basically, okay, it's hard to digest. You get it. It basically, when a sperm whale eats it, it marinates in their intestines. Eventually, it gets wrapped up in this white-gray goo, which becomes ambergris. I guess there's some debate about how the ambergris comes out of the whale. Some believe that the whale regurgitates it, earning it a less fancy nickname, whale vomit. But some experts believe that ambergris, quote, eventually passes along with fecal matter, forming an obstruction in the rectum, end quote. Sometimes, if it's not too big, the whale can pass the ambergris. Yes, this is what we are talking about. But other times the ambergris gets so big, it eventually fatally ruptures the whale's rectum. Oh my god.
Oh, blow out your
Either
butthole,
way,
huh?
It's poop or vomit. Fun fact though, this whale vomit or whale poop is still available in some expensive perfumes today, but not a lot of companies
Whale
will
vomit?
admit it because it's not technically vegan. Isn't it though? Because whatever, I don't know. Now listen, there are actually laws in place that make it illegal in some countries. In the United States, the possession and trade of ambergris is actually prohibited by the Endangered Species Act of 1973. So good luck trying to get that stuff, huh? Now, for the friend who's always lighting candles. Oh, a candle! Love the candle, friend. It's so powerful in the house. Candles everywhere. Or maybe your friend who's really into, their crystals and using their period blood as a face mask. Do you know about that? Well, let me tell you. I'll save that for another day. But listen, that friend, the woo-woo friend. Yeah, listen, the great gift for them. Everyone loves this gift. A Ouija board. Yeah, great, easy, right? Maybe you can find even a vintage one. Nothing brings family together, friends, anyone together, like a seance. Summoning the dead in the attic. You know? Who doesn't want to do that? That's so fun. So it kind of sounds like it was like invented in some mystical, like spooky place, Ouija. But Ouija only got its name in like 1890 when the inventor, he was a lawyer named Elijah J. Bond, had asked his sister-in-law to ask the board to name itself. Did you connect those dots? Great. So just ask the board what the board wants its name to be. So the board had spelled out O-U-I-J-A. And you're like, how do you pronounce this, board? What? So people were like, what does this mean? So they asked the board, like, hey, what does this mean? And the board wrote back, good luck. Sounds like a trap being set by a demon, but they ran with it. A patent was filed, and Ouija was alive. Immediately when it came out, Ouija was very popular. Popular enough that there was a lot of fighting on who actually had the rights to manufacture Ouija boards. So there's a bunch of lawsuits, copycat boards, and there was a family feud that lasted almost 100 years. And a man named William Fuld, I think his name is, won the trademark for Ouija. So good for him. I don't know. William jumped into the Ouija lifestyle head first. William truly believed his product worked. He used the board to give him advice about problems he had in life and business. And he believed he had proof that it worked. Apparently, after losing like a large shipment, William turned to the Ouija board to ask him where this missing shipment had ended up. And allegedly, the board led him directly to the missing shipment, which was in like Ohio. Now, we don't know how he knew where in Ohio or what, but he was very excited about it, and I guess he found it. Another message from the board told him to prepare for big business. So William built a new factory in order to handle all like the new orders that this Ouija had promised him. But little did he know that the board was setting him up for tragedy. So in 1927, William went to inspect part of his new factory, and while he was there, he was like leaning on a support railing, and I guess it didn't hold, and he just fell backwards, right? He fell down 3 stories, landing right on the ground. He broke his arm, his leg, 5 ribs, and had a concussion. He was taken to the hospital, but it was clear he wasn't going to make it. Now, William, I guess, had held on long enough to say goodbye to, like, his kids or whatever, but out. But before he was out, he actually had one dying wish. Sorry, I jumped. He made his children promise to never, ever sell the rights to the Ouija board. And then, after he made that promise, he died. Yeah, I guess one of his, like, broken ribs had pierced his heart, which sounds brutal, but R.I.P. I guess his kids didn't really believe in the
forgot
game
to add
like
a
he
tomato.
did. And
Whatever.
in 1966, one of his sons sold the business to Parker Brothers. And kind of suspicious, but the son didn't sell it on any old day. He sold it on February 24th, which was the anniversary of his father's death. Like, ouch. Was that on purpose? Okay.
Huggies Fast Absorbing Core versus
Small cheese
3
combo.
Ps. Will it leak? 1 P, 2 Ps, 3 Ps. Ta-da!
You know, kind of weird. Ouija ended up in the hands of Hasbro after they bought Parker Brothers in 1991, and Hasbro still sells the boards to this day. Actually, they even recently released the AI-powered Ouija board. I was curious, so I looked it up. It's so dumb. You go online and you type your question into the chat for Ouija to answer. So essentially, you're just chatting with a robot. It's giving wild, honestly, but okay. Yeah, I can't believe it's the end of the year. What?
What?
What? I know. Yep.
We're here. And I'm making a list of like things I need to do before New Year's. And of course, at the very bottom of the list is like, hey, you still need to get that filling done at the dentist. You should probably do that like now, you know? But listen, trying to get a dentist appointment right now, good luck. It's a pain. Where do I start? Listen, that's why I love ZocDoc. Oh yes, because ZocDoc is here to save the day. ZocDoc, if you don't know, is a free app and website that makes finding the right doctor or like dentist super easy. You can search and compare high-quality in-network doctors across more than 100,000 providers in every specialty, from mental health, dental, primary care, urgent care, foot care, all the cares. You name it, you can filter for doctors who take your insurance, are nearby, or even who have like an opening today. And then when you find the one that you want, the doctor, whatever, you can instantly book with just a click. Appointments typically happen within 24 to 72 hours. So don't put it off, or better yet, maybe put it at the top of your holiday to-do list. Schedule an appointment for yourself. Take care of yourself. Because ZocDoc, they got your back. I've been using ZocDoc for years, and I think you should try it out too. So stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/darkhistory to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc, ZocDoc.com/darkhistory. ZocDoc.com/darkhistory. Now for our next gift. Maybe you have one of those crazy family members, a crazy aunt, cousin, sister, whatever. You know, the one who gets a little woo all the time. They're fun. They're fun for a little bit. Well, give her the gift of an original Chippendales lap dance. Oh yeah, go to Chippendales. So much fun with that person. Back in the day, Chippendales wasn't just about like hot men in little cuffs. It was also about arson, hitmen, and murders. Multiple murders. Oh yeah, maybe your aunt or whoever will be thrilled. It'll be a good time. Chippendales was at the right place at the right time. Los Angeles in the 70s. It's a sex-forward time, and porn is on the rise in a very big way. There were movies that were coming out, like Deep Throat, which turned out to be like a huge hit. And during this time in the 70s, it was considered like the golden age of porn. So, seeing male strippers was like the perfect combination of something sexy and edgy that was also in a safe, controlled environment for normal people, you know? So nothing too crazy could happen. So once the doors opened to Chippendales, ooh, the ladies just flooded in. In the beginning, the dancers had costumes. They had a very distinct costume. They wear those little like wrist cuffs, the collar, the bow tie. It's classic. If you're watching on YouTube, Paul and Rob, their outfits were inspired by the classic Chippendales look. Love it, you guys. You look so good. Now for the special person in your life who's always texting you YouTube links at 2 a.m. with captions like, watch this before it gets taken down. Well, give them a reason to visit the Alaska Triangle. Oh, you can actually give them a framed poster of Kushtaka, or should I say the Otter Man. I wouldn't mind that, actually. I wouldn't mind that gift.
What's up, bitch?
Give me
Welcome
a
back.
printout of the Otter Man. Oh, yes. Alaska Triangle? Fun for days. The rabbit holes of that whole situation going on over there. But listen, Otter Man, okay, he's like part man, part otter. He's hot. But I guess he will lure you into the icy Alaskan wilderness with the sound of like a crying child. Allegedly, that's what's been said. And then I guess this Otter Man will then drag you into another dimension. Yeah, so that's fun to talk about. Yeah.
I
at
like other
the dinner
dimensions.
table
Sounds
during the
good.
holidays. Bring this up. It'll be a banger. They'll be like, what are you talking about? You're like, that's what they say. Then pull up the photo. You're gonna blow people's minds at the dinner table this year, okay? Just drop Otter Man out of nowhere. Boom. Everyone's gonna be like, what? Yes. But in case you need one last reason to stay away from the Alaska Triangle, allow me to introduce you to the ancient legend of...
Are we ready for this party?
Guests are